This is the Bel Air Beach Park and Recreation Board meeting for, help me out here,
February 21st.
for February 21st with
Yep.
June Van Scoy, Lisa Ilya, George Ortel, and Rick Schock present. First thing we need to do is the approval of the agenda.
I'll make a motion, we approve the agenda as submitted.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes.
Okay.
Okay, so the next thing is the approval of the February 3rd meeting minutes. Did everybody get a copy of that?
Yes.
Just a few minutes ago.
Okay.
Yeah. Give me just a couple more minutes.
Okay, we'll take a couple minutes to review it.
Okay, yeah. Okay. All right, I make a motion, having read them, that we accept the minutes as submitted.
I second it.
All in favor? Aye.
No.
Any opposed? Passed. Okay, the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about the car show planning. Number 4. Now, the city manager has given us a copy of the car show registration form that he thinks would work perfect for what the city would like. So I'm gonna pass it around. The only thing we're gonna do is eliminate the categories on there for now.
Okay.
So I'll let you all take a look at that. I'm gonna keep moving forward if you don't mind, so we can, okay. So I've worked on some sponsorships. We have Path to Waters coming, travel consultation,
Texas.
Kona Ice, the Confederate Republican Women's, Largo Medical Center, Honor Flight, and then Hollis Art, is it? Hollis,
She didn't say.
yeah. Rebecca Hollis will be selling her art,
Oh, okay.
okay? So that's who we have for sponsorships. I have the Antique Fire Truck confirmed and the Humvee from the Sheriff Department confirmed. So we'll have fire and
Like
police
the
here.
one we had for the festival, the big, yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, the Humvee is a little different,
Oh.
but it's another one of those
Similar
vehicles.
type,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I chose the Humvee because this is, for one thing, when you have that many cars, you're gonna have limited spaces. So the Humvee was a smaller vehicle for us to have, so. But by having those two, because the guy who brings the fire truck, he's an EMT. So we're good, we got fire and we have police here with that, so, as well, so. The other thing I want to talk about is the classes. We never did nail down the classes, and I got to get this done and get it to Kyle and the city manager for approval. So let's go over these classes and get this
Okay.
down packed, okay? So I have, well, of course, Best in Show would be overall. Okay, then we had, I think it was the most original per class, right? Most original, and, well, who's taking minutes? I'm
This
sorry.
didn't show.
Are you willing
Yeah.
to take minutes, Rick?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know whether, you haven't heard anything? No, okay,
He just emailed the minutes a few minutes ago.
okay. All right. So we have Best in Show as the overall. Then we have, what was I? The most original. Now, do we want to do the most original
I don't even know what that means. What does that mean?
in each class? So if you take,
These are classes we agreed to?
no, those are the classes that he was able to come up with for the time being.
Those are just holders. You guys haven't told us any classes.
Yeah, we haven't set any classes. But I'm all in for any input on this because I'm out of my league with the car show.
Yeah.
I mean, I've attended a few, but, so if you guys have some ideas about,
I've never been to one, so.
oh, I've been to them, but, so we could do the most original,
I think we were talking about years. Weren't we grouping them according to years?
yeah, we were gonna group them towards years, but then when you do the years, you have things that awards you give them within those years. So, I actually have a sample of a flyer on my laptop, and so while I'm waiting for it to fire up, let's talk about that. We'll just move on, and then we'll come back to that if that's okay, and that way we can keep it moving. I really hate doing this on a Friday when people should be able to go home and enjoy. So, the other thing I want to talk about is the layout. Were you able to get with Kyle about the layout?
I haven't, no. I haven't been with Kyle, no.
Okay. All right. Well, the city manager approved for us to work with Kyle on picking out the trophies and picking out and setting up the layouts for the cars.
Okay.
So,
We can't do the trophies until we know, like,
classes, exactly. So what
Or really a layout until we have some idea, are we gonna have 10 cars or are we gonna have 100 cars?
I think
You know,
we discussed what we had discussed was having, I think it was 30 cars.
Okay.
The 25 spaces he was saying.
Or
roughly.
25 spaces we can put, if we did a truck class though, we could put the truck class over on the grass is what Kyle had said.
Okay.
So we could have cars back, trucks back in there. So, okay, so here's the categories I have. Antique, classic, and then they have prestige. Here,
so this is something you found on the internet?
correct. And then I have best in show, could be car, truck, import, Chevy, Ford antique classics, stock modified by decade. You talked about the stock modified. I remember you saying something about that. So that's, and by decade, you could also, it's got by model, by brand. And then there's time frames. Here's the time frames they show when they did on this one. It's 1900 to 1920s, all just 1920s, all 1930s, 40s, each 10 years was a class. That's something to think about. We could do pre-war, post-war, pre-1968, pre-1979. These are just some examples that I found. And then you could have brands and such. It's called brands and such. That's another class. And then you just have all the different brands. And then you could have models, some popular examples. Mustang, Thunderbird, Firebird, Chevelle, Corvette, Camaro, MG, that, So you could have it. I think with this, in my opinion, but I'm not going, it's up to you all, but I think with this being our very first one, I think we need to try to keep it generic. We don't want to get too
Not be that
detailed.
specific.
Yeah,
It's
especially
only going to
with-
be 30 cars. So it's not like there's
it's
going
only
to
going to be 30
be 10
cars.
Corvettes or like 20 Corvettes. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
So
yeah.
I think if we were to give, now everybody's going to get a trophy. You're going to get a trophy. You're going to get a participation trophy. Okay? But if you win one of the awards, then obviously you're not going to get a participation trophy. You'll get a regular trophy. But usually they do get something for participating. Okay? So if I would say if we're going to have 30 cars, I don't know, maybe six regular awards, the like the best in show, those kinds of things where we classify it. And I think that still gives a lot of chances for people to win, especially with only our numbers being like 30. So what do you think?
I don't know.
Because you figure 6 into 30 is, so you have 5 chance, if you were in each one of those classes.
So we're deciding on 6 classes, is that what you're saying?
Six classes,
And then 6 trophies, 1 for each of those classes.
right.
We still haven't decided on what the classes are going to be.
Well, and that's what I'm saying though, so we have 6 classes, and now we have to go out and we have to find 6 things. So let's go with best in show,
Okay,
most
most original.
Wait a minute, best in show that,
That means
Cover
overall, out
all
of
the-
all the cars.
all the classes.
Doesn't matter which class,
Which
right?
class? Yeah.
Yeah, best in show is always
So
best
there-
in show. It's the
with
best
that
one there.
in mind, there would be 6 plus 1 for best in show. Is that correct?
We could do 6 plus 1,
Well,
if
if
that's
we have
what you
6
all wanted.
categories,
Okay, yeah, we could do that. Yeah, that makes more sense. I mean, do we want to give out that many trophies?
I'm just
For
trying to
30
think this
cars?
through.
Well, this is overall, so you'd have, this has nothing to do with classes.
So
There's
why don't
overall
we
best
go,
in
actually,
show.
let's go with 5 and 1. How about that?
Okay,
Because this person, whoever has the best in show, might win 2 trophies, right?
Right,
Best in show and then the best for its class or whatever.
Right.
It potentially could.
Good.
well, so in the class, let's say it's a antique class,
Okay.
they might get best in show, or best in class, right? And then are we also gonna have most original within that class, and then overall too? So as Lisa says, you could win, which is great, I mean,
So let's go. Okay, so let's just start with the antique class.
We-
So first of all, let's pick a year for the antiques.
well, we had down here pre-1940.
For antiques.
Classic would probably be 41 to, I don't know.
Was it 80? Did we say
Probably,
1980?
yeah, maybe. Yeah. I mean, the terms, you hear antique and antique is supposed to be 100 years or older, like with collectibles and stuff.
Well-
Vintage is, 50 years old. And I mean, we're not going to get any 100-year-old cars, but I mean, if we have, and we can define them as, I mean, I don't know what the norm is within this hobby. But I think we want antique, right?
We definitely want antique, but I would think antique would be 30. I mean, when you buy a tag, you get classified as an antique 30
Over
years.
20 years. I thought it was 20, but
No, it's
okay,
30.
30 years.
Yeah, so 30
So
years.
90s, yeah.
So, I think classic, I think we'll be making our own classes is basically what we'll be doing. We won't have it be the normal classes, so.
Did you?
Yes,
Okay.
Do you mind if I throw in something?
yeah, go
At
ahead.
the yacht club last week, we had a car show.
Mhm.
And before I present what they did, I should ask you, and please excuse me to interrupt, please excuse me the need to get up to date. How many cars do you have registered right now?
We don't have any registered yet.
When is the date of the show?
March 22nd.
It's March.
29.
Do you really
No,
don't,
it's the
29th.
22nd. They
22nd.
changed it. They changed it to
you don't
22nd.
know.
Well, I have a car show I
It's
have
the
a car
22nd.
club that wants to come.
Changed it.
I didn't know that, thank you.
Yeah, I have a car
Yeah,
club
so
that
what the
wants to
club
come.
did last week, just to simplify things for you,
Mm-hmm.
no fancy judging. They did 1 through 3, kept it simple. I think they had a dealership that was showing off a new car or 2 that was involved. I forget which dealership it was.
Mhm.
And they ended up with like 50, 60 cars. And they just kept it simple.
Mhm.
And I think because you don't know right now,
What about first in each class? Would just pick a class and you get first in class, second in class, and third in class.
well, you were suggesting don't go with the classes, just overall
I
everything?
really wasn't sure who you had registered. So if you have a car show that's doing this all
Yeah,
the
it's a
time,
car
yeah,
club
so
that's
they might be
willing to.
expecting something different. I think for us last week at the club, it was like, hey, this is fun. Sweetheart car show, come on in, 15th, no fancy judging, first, second, third. And I think there was an auto dealership that brought some new cars, so they were sponsoring some things.
I mean,
But that input was just because you're trying to determine classes, without knowing what classes you're going to have.
Yeah.
And that's
And
why
with
I
this
just-
being our first one, I like your idea. I think maybe we just have
You just have 3 trophies? first,
have 3
second, and
trophies,
third.
first, second, and third, and then maybe still the overall, the best in show. So have 4 trophies.
Yeah, and I think your car show people would have a better idea though,
Mhm.
if you really wanted to break it down, but you might struggle with this part of your meeting if you're trying to figure out without knowing what you're gonna have.
I know,
So-
I know. And I reached out to them and because I asked them if they would be willing, some of their group would be willing to be judges as well in it,
And
because
you know people in the neighborhood that have?
I do know.
So like Marv has an antique?
Marv, the mayor actually has 3, but he's not gonna bring all 3 of
Didn't
his.
know
But
that.
but these guys are not just so they're gonna enter, but they're not going for prizes.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are the prizes?
And then, but they're trophies. You know, they're
Oh.
trophies. And then we're gonna be giving away to have a giveaways. And then there's a guy up on I think it's Howard. I know the street. I think it's Howard. Okay, he has 4.
Yeah,
so-
you're
so-
talking about
and he-
Ted. He's got a Roadrunner, Humvee.
Yeah,
he's got a roof.
yeah.
Um,
And we had spoke to him, and he was interested in a car show.
wonderful guy.
And then there's a guy with a Corvette on, I think it's 16th, and he was interested in doing it. So those are the houses I'm gonna walk right up and hand the
I want to make
flyers.
yourself a note. Jim Christ is the owner of the toy store for the Corvettes in town.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually already gonna go over and hit him up.
Just say, I know
And-
you're in the
and-
neighborhood, this is what we're doing. He
Yeah.
has some great ideas and he has all the automobile contacts.
And I was gonna say, yeah, all the contacts, yeah.
Right. Well, I'm hitting, there's a car club that goes to the Biff Burger down there.
Really cool. Yeah,
So-
sorry to interrupt your flow.
No,
Just
no,
hate to
it's
see you
okay.
caught on classes without knowing.
Yeah.
What are we gonna have? We could have
Yeah.
awards for nothing that's gonna show up.
Mm-hmm.
So-
Were you gonna
So I
reach
think
out to
first,
them,
second,
too?
and third, and then 1 overall. I think that's an awesome idea. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Sure.
Were you gonna reach out to the car clubs too and ask them to judge? That
I
was
am
something
gonna
we
I'm gonna
discussed.
ask them to have a couple of their people judge, because this is more of their expertise, and they tend to usually bring people that are willing to do it within their organization. So
So we're just gonna say, come on down.
right.
Right.
I say
Whether you have a truck, a car, whether it's
right.
a souped up
Whatever you wanna show.
2020 Tesla or it's an old whatever,
Right.
and then everyone's gonna be,
Right.
maybe we differentiate only between cars and trucks. So maybe you have trucks and cars, and then first, second, and third. Because, I mean, trucks are big.
Well, they're big,
You
but
know.
then if you have trucks,
I don't mean literally big, I mean they're popular.
right. But if you have trucks, see, there's more likely to be more cars than the trucks.
Right? Well, that's,
So I think if we keep it together and we don't break it out,
Okay.
because we'd be able to
Okay.
get more cars in than if we got a lot of trucks in. So
I think for the first time we're doing this, his idea is perfect.
it is
think the way we-
extremely
We get-
perfect.
We get them here, we find out who's tends to come
Mhm.
to these things,
Mhm.
we talk among them, how we categorize things.
We
and
were
how
up
we
front,
for
Jim,
next year.
about how we advertised it,
Mhm.
and it was, it's about X, meaning getting together, showing your car off.
Right.
This is our first in the city,
Mhm.
and we emphasize first, second, third,
Right.
no fancy judging.
Right.
And you could really, these car guys might be familiar with how to go about it,
Right.
but you might struggle getting into that.
Right. And I
Which
really
legend,
don't. Yeah, I don't want to
Yeah.
do that, because until I have,
Yeah.
and see, I would have even considered that, but again, they hadn't returned my call about the judging, so, and then I wanted to talk to them about the classes, so, you know, and my guess is, because I reached out to again today, one of them is one of the firemen, they're on the call, so my guess is, that's part of the problem.
otherwise
Yeah.
occupied, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit occupied, but,
Okay. So.
all right, so that's, I'm gonna go
we're not
first,
gonna
second,
do
third,
best-
and
just
fourth,
First, second, and third, just,
and fourth
which is
cars.
basically, we're talking about best in show, second best in show, and third best in show, really.
Well, actually, we had
Right.
said best in show, period, and then first, second, and third place.
But
So the best in show would be the overall.
Since
they're-
they're
your
all for the
second
same
place-
show, I mean, it's all one show, so.
Yeah. I know, they
First,
always,
second,
but they
third.
always do the best in
So-
show. That is like,
Okay,
that is the,
best in show, and then the,
Second place and third place?
Yeah.
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 You
Oh.
could term it runner-up, first runner-up, second runner-up,
Yeah.
third runner-up.
There you go, that's perfect.
Mhm.
First, second, and third, that's perfect. First, second,
yeah,
and third. Runner up. Perfect.
so
Okay.
we will be judging apples and oranges, which is fine for this. I
Right.
just want to get them to come out, okay? All right,
Right, and this is a Sunday afternoon
Okay.
thing. The other thing we
Yep.
have to talk about is, we had talked about Cruise by the Bay as the name of it, but a cruise, now this is
Yeah.
something I got very educated by several car people. Cruise is where you guys go and cruise in the cars, and then you come back and you shoot the breeze. We're not doing that. We don't want the cars cruising around, okay? We don't want them going to the city streets. We don't want this. Okay, so we have to change the wording. So how about Cars by the Bay? Does that sound like, or Cars by the Beach?
How about
Cars by the
Miller
Beach.
Beach first annual car show. Just call
Well,
it a car
because,
show.
well, the thing of it is if you get too wordy, then you have a problem with the flyer. So that's the only thing. I was playing with it. So,
Just car show then.
Yeah, I mean, like Indian Rocks Beach would probably call it Indian Rocks Beach Car Show.
Mhm.
But that's a whole different environment there.
mhm.
So if we want, like
You want
we
something
did,
catchy though, that's gonna catch
festival,
someone's eye.
what was the festival?
Festival
called?
by the
Something
Sea.
by
Festival
there?
by the Sea.
We
So
could do it Cars by the Sea or something like that.
Cars
Yeah.
by the Sea, that would be
Something a little
perfect.
catchy.
That would be in
Because-
line
Catch
with
someone's
you.
eye when you're driving.
because we go down to Joe puts his Corvettes in. We do Corvettes by the pier. So you could
Yeah.
do
Mhm.
so.
Okay, so do we have a motion that we are going to have three, or I would make a motion that we have four awards.
Forward.
Best in show, first, second, and third runner-up.
I
Aye.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Right.
No opposed. Okay.
Okay, I'd make a motion that we call the car show Cars by the Sea.
I second.
I don't like it.
No? Okay.
But cars in the
I
park.
withdraw my
something
motion.
like that.
Well,
What-
because
what
we're
else can
trying
we-
to showcase that we're on the
Yeah.
beach. See, we're the only car show on the beach. That's a thing.
Mhm. It's true.
Cars at Beller Beach. Cars, no, show, oh, no.
Well, all these, they're not all gonna be Bel Air Beach cars, are they?
No, they're not. No.
I don't know.
I don't know that we want to really say Bel Air Beach Car Show. I'm not,
So everything you'll see from a marketing perspective in March has madness tied to it.
good point,
Mhm.
good point.
We're just looking for a name to go on a flyer, is that it, or?
Yeah, how about the
So,
beach car show? It could be something simple.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Beach car show.
Well, why not just Bel Air Beach Car Show?
Beller Beach car show. I'm okay with that. That's fine. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
You guys okay with that? Okay. We gotta take a
You want to
motion.
make a motion of
Yes,
that?
please.
Make a motion that we title it Bel Air Beach Car Show.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, it's passed. Okay. All right. So, the only thing I am waiting on is, I'm still waiting, I'm waiting for the city attorney to get back to me on the Republican. We just need to make sure we're good.
No, it's fine.
It's fine, thank you. Okay, so we're okay with that one vendor. So as far as I'm concerned, we have the vendors we're going to use
Okay.
at this point. I might open it to one more, but, because I've reached out West Coast Garage, I'm waiting to hear back from them, okay? And The other car place we talked about, that Ohio place, he said keep him in mind for the future, but right now he's struggling a little bit financially, so we have to skip that one. So,
Okay.
but the one I'm gonna go check with is the Corvette guy, is what it is. That's why I want to leave that one open.
Okay.
So that was on my list to go check with him. So it's
Well,
been,
he can probably give you the keys to the kingdom. I mean,
oh yeah,
tell me one. I'm sure they have an email that has everybody that owns a classic car, everybody who's been
oh
involved,
yeah, yeah.
and we can just get that access to that list and
Right.
and put it out. That's all we're going to need to do. Because the people, they're tight. They know where every car show is.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely,
And,
yeah.
if we,
Yeah.
that would make it very easy.
Right, correct.
So you were talking about the guy, Ted's Corvettes or whatever
Yeah,
over there? Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that the toy store?
The
Yeah,
the
the
adult toy store.
The
or
toy
something like
store.
that,
The
Yeah.
car show people are great too.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That'll be
Yeah,
great.
maybe-
Cool. I kinda like the idea
Yeah.
of Bella Beach car.
Yeah.
That'll be cool.
I actually, yeah, I think so too. I
Well,
like
it's a
when
real
we can
laid-back,
use the
fun
title of our
environment. I
city
mean,
in it.
people just,
You know, it makes it original. It's something that we own. It's ours. It's
Yeah,
ours.
okay.
And it's simple. Exactly.
So
Okay.
Can we simplify the registration form then?
Yes,
What we
and,
just
and so,
discussed?
do you have the template for that, or you have the template?
Yeah, just mark up what you got. We took them classes out, as you said.
Can you mark it up and then we'll just pass it back to him?
Yeah, and it's March 22nd too,
March
right?
22nd,
The
correct.
city attorney's made some edits, and I have those, so I was waiting for you to decide.
Okay, okay.
And if you're gonna, he said to take out the rules because you don't have any rules that
Okay,
you developed.
okay,
Okay.
So we're gonna take that out of there.
okay.
Unless you wanna develop some rules.
No, no,
Not for the first
that
time.
part is, all the legality, I'm leaving up to you two. So,
Did we?
yeah, now I'd like to
Okay, so-
see if the city manager has any other input in reference to this.
The one thing, what you're evidently selling is booth space. You're not selling a sponsorship.
Right,
Okay.
right,
So the
so
city
that,
attorney and I had a discussion about that because the sponsorship agreement is a little more, how do I call it? A little more legal stuff that if you don't do it, so him and I actually talked about that, I think it was yesterday, maybe. He said, we just need to do a simple form, it's like
Okay.
a craft fair.
Okay.
Because, you know, we've got one in, for Rebecca, that's the only one we've got so far.
okay, but I have sent them out though, just so you know.
So, well, we'll use this for now, but what I'm
Okay.
saying, you know, for the future, if you're just selling somebody a vendor booth, you're kind of, because this is more for somebody that's paying a bunch of money.
Right, right.
And that's not what this is.
Right, I know, but we had to use it for the festival because that's all we had at the time. It was crunch time, so,
Yeah,
you
so
know,
He just made a comment.
that's perfect. No, I agree.
Doing
I agree 100%.
a legal
Remember,
document for $25, which is
right,
not really.
right. And we had talked about trying to create something else, so that's perfect, yeah. Okay, okay.
So I took out all this stuff, so it'll say trophy, standard stuff. Then set a category entered where we have trophies awarded for best in show as well as first, second, and third runner-ups.
Perfect,
Right.
perfect.
And then Lynn, like you said, you've got some new wording probably for the release, right?
Yeah.
From Mr. Riley. Okay. So do we want to charge $25?
We had discussed that and no one wants to come down off that 25. They wanted to charge 25.
Who's they?
Wasn't that what we said in the minutes? Or did he write that
Yeah.
down?
So,
Yeah, I think it was 25.
Yeah, there was some talk last time.
I didn't see that in
going to
here.
20 and
Yeah, I suggested 20 and I think you guys had said 25. That's the
I
only
didn't see that. I
reason.
don't see anything in minutes about that.
But we
yeah, I
talked
think
about.
we did.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't see it written there. Let's see if I can find it in my notes.
Bert didn't think it was a big deal, 25. And I
Yeah.
agree, I don't think it's a big
And
deal.
are we still
Generally,
limited? Are we
well-
still limited to 30 cards?
So we are still limited to 30
Because
cards.
that should
But
be in
here's
there.
the
Trophies
thing.
awarded for. Okay.
Yeah, it should say 30 cars.
First 30
Largo
out.
only charged 15. And that was my point, that Largo just had one and they only charged 15.
Yeah.
So I thought if we came in between at 20, that would have been more reasonable, especially since this is our first one out of the rodeo. So how about
25
somebody
is-
make a motion and we'll talk about it.
All right, I make a motion that we adjust the registration fee to $20 from 25.
I second.
All in favor? Aye.
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 I'll abstain because I remember Bert was talking about, I thought we actually had the same discussion.
We discussed, but we didn't vote on it.
I thought we did.
Well, it's not in the minutes.
It's not in the minutes.
Because I
but-
remember the discussion saying, let's go to 20.
I do too. I remember.
25's not a big deal, let's keep it at 25.
All right, but then
But I'm
just
just
if
revisiting it though. I mean,
if
because
it's
I'm
not in
thinking
the
$25.
minutes, if we're not sure though, we can't go back and, so let's just leave it at 25 and we'll deal with the repercussions if I have to. I'll talk to the car people. What we'll do is we'll throw some extra stuff in the goodie bags.
Well, I don't understand why we
compensate
can't
for
go
the
back.
difference.
I don't understand why we can't go back. I mean, that was, that week, it's come up as an agenda. We can make adjustments to it. I mean, it hasn't gone out for publication outside.
It
the-
hasn't gone about, how does that go though if we change the voting? We voted on it. If we did vote on it, trying to
But I'm
remember.
voting to change it,
Which you can do.
which we
Which we
can
could
do.
do, okay then. All right, so
I
let's,
mean, if they're not here, they're not here.
in your motion, you need to say that though. I think that would cover us if you,
Okay,
so, yeah, if in the motion.
okay. All right, then I'll withdraw the motion and I'll make a new one.
Okay,
My motion is to change the previously agreed upon registration fee from $25 to $20 for the first Bel Air Beach Car Show.
okay.
I second.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 I mean, I think, $25 dollars.
Anybody
is-
opposed? No,
No, okay.
okay. Motion passed.
So that's- all right.
All right, so, the other thing would be nice if somehow on that form we could just ask if they're a Bel Air Beach resident. Okay, because we were actually this would help us get a little feedback as to who actually lives here is participating in this. Don't you think it would be somewhere if we could put that on the form? What do you
Check mark,
think?
like maybe a check mark, right? Bel Air
Yeah.
Beach resident.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
I don't know,
Okay.
somewhere. Yes or no, or
yeah.
Okay. And third runner up.
And I don't remember,
wonder-
does
yeah,
that form
maybe-
have an email on it?
No.
Okay, so we need.
Yes, it does, I'm sorry.
Okay, because that's how I'm gonna be
Well, we
reaching
have
it.
name,
Okay.
and then maybe we could just put here, Bel Air Beach resident.
Yeah,
Yes or no?
yeah, and then just,
Okay. I'll take this home and have my secretary send it to you. Can
oh,
I do that?
no, well,
Or do I want
no,
to give it, because,
we'll give it to
I
the
want-
city manager because he wants to,
okay.
he
I just-
wants to go
it may
over
not
that.
be real neat
We
one,
just need
but
to make sure he gets it, gets
Yeah.
it back and lets him
First,
make the
okay.
changes,
I
because
didn't wanna-
that's
I didn't wanna
basically
saddle
the
him with
legal form.
doing the artistic
That is-
part.
Yeah, no, that basically is the legal form, so that
Okay,
actually
first
he needs to handle that,
30.
not us.
Cars.
Right,
Okay.
okay, so,
Let me
I don't know if you, oh, I'm sorry.
about that for a minute, because you put first 30 cars. But what if somebody wants to bring 2 cars? to the
It's
show?
okay. First 30 entrants,
Well, That's
entries.
what I'm thinking, it should be entries instead
Okay.
Yeah.
of cars.
Okay. Good thought.
Entries.
First 30 entries
so
will be
someone
judged.
someone can bring 2 or 3 cars if they want. They're not going to limit it to 1 per person.
Yeah. And if it looks like our numbers are kind of low, we'll probably throw in a couple, but he's not going to run his, he's just going to show his. So,
Okay.
I think we need.
I mean,
to
he's
think
going to pay
about
the
that
fee.
a little bit.
He's going to pay the entry fee,
Somebody
but he's
comes
not
in.
going to.
Pays their $25 and they bring 3 cars, and somebody else pays their $25 and they're limited to.
I think it's per car. It should
It's
be
per
per
car.
space. Per
Yeah.
space, right?
Yeah,
So you're
per-
paying
per
per parking
entry.
space.
per entry, it needs to say per entry. The
Right.
form needs to say per entry. Okay,
Okay.
all right. Is there
So,
anything
but it
else?
says first 30 entries will be judged, so the way this, particularly it says, check-in and registration open at 1 o'clock?
Yeah. Yeah, because the guys.
So we're not gonna do anything ahead of time, other than they show up at 1 o'clock? They could call in, I
It
guess,
starts at
and they,
2. They could come in at 12:30 if they want. A lot of the guys like to set up the cars. They set up a little thing around their cars. They wipe
Open
them
the
down
hood.
again. They open the hood. They wipe them down again.
oh, sure,
From
yeah.
the dust and things like that. So
Yeah.
we could make it 12:30.
Well, yeah, okay.
But I don't want to do it
Are
too
we gonna
much
turn
early
people
because we
away?
had talked about.
Potentially? I mean, we say, you know.
Okay, we can't. I'll tell you
if we're
what. If
checking
people brought their,
registration
if they brought
open-
their cars in,
Yeah,
if they brought their cars in, say for instance we have 30 and we have cars that want to come in, they can't participate in the thing. I don't have a problem if they pull the car in to show, but they can't. The entries are 30 entries. Okay.
okay.
So it's 30
Yeah.
people that are going to possibly get trophies.
Yeah.
Point
By
blank.
a certain date, right? Don't they have
Right,
to
right.
enter
We're
by-
going to have a certain date. So we need to pick out the cutoff date like we've done before for receiving these. How far? 1 week in advance, I would think. And then you know why? Because you always get a
Okay.
day or two after.
Yeah,
So
I would think a week before would be reasonable.
right.
It's already almost March.
I know.
Okay. Well, the thing,
Believe
the
it.
event is actually on a Sunday. So I want to say let's make it by the Monday prior to the event. What do you think?
That give people enough time to.
So that would be, in other words,
I would
the
love to do that,
16th.
but we've already got plans.
Yeah, so it would be, yeah. Entries must be received by March 16th. Okay, so that's Monday, March 16th. I would
This-
write
this-
that on
this-
there.
Well, I mean, this flyer to me is totally confusing then, because it says check-in and registration open at 1. That would tell me 1 o'clock on March 22nd, but now we're saying
Yeah, no, registration needs to come off there because you actually
Check
need to
in.
Just check in.
check in. Yeah, no, registration needs to come off there.
check-in begins at,
We'll say 12:30.
all right,
Now, these guys have done car shows, so we don't need to say, be babysitters and
30
say,
PM.
yeah, the event starts at 2, so they know they gotta be here ahead of time.
All entry fees, or entry, all registrations and fees must be received no later than
March 16th?
March 16th.
Monday. Okay.
Okay. So, do you all remember the email that I sent out, basically giving the instructions on how to, for them to come? I sent to each one of those by email. Do you remember that? How the instructions basically giving them how to get down to the park and things like that. I'm going to do the same
For back when we
Same-
did festival by the
from the
Yeah,
festival,
yeah.
correct. I'm going to do the same instructions except for I'm going to insert this date and time, obviously. Okay. And then let them know that we'll be shutting it down. Okay. The vendors, again, the vendors aren't going to park there. Okay. And I'm not going to have them park here. They can drop off their stuff ahead of time and we'll do it again where they park. Okay. And that way it opens up the regular parking, okay? We're gonna block off the street again, so that way if anybody's here with any children or anything like that, or you know, people don't want cars coming in and out if you're displaying your antique or collector cars. So we'll have the street shut off like we did before for this. And like I said, Kona Ice is coming in, so that's basically the, you know, and then the Path to Waters people always supply free water, so.
Yeah,
So then we have the water source covered, so, And we don't have to do a lunchtime thing because it's after lunch and it's before dinner. So we're out of here by then. So that's not an issue. So, and we've covered the safety issues because we'll have EMT and fire here. I mean, EMT and police here. So those things are covered. I'm gonna have one at one and one at the other. So if you could, when you do your thing with Kyle, if we could have, police at one and fire at the other would be a good thing. And then, anybody that's with the city, actually with the city is how we're gonna do it before, how I broke it up. And I set it up so if you're, say, on council or you're on a committee or you're whatever, we're gonna break you up in the layout because we know you can help keep an eye on things. So I think that's my general safety plan here. I'm gonna ask if the city manager is okay with locking down the doors into the council hall again. So that way we only have bathrooms open.
Yeah,
That way we don't have to worry about that. And then what I did was, I don't know if you all are aware of it, but I had roaming patrols. So anybody that was in the council or on committees or whatever, I kept telling them, if you could do a walkthrough every so often, walk through City Hall. So that's what we'll continue to do.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Someone needs to be in this building, I think.
Right. So we
Whether
just do
they're
a
sitting
continual
out there, but someone
walkthrough.
I think needs to be in here.
Well, if we have a rotating thing, okay, every 10, 15 minutes, I think would be good. So I'm going to find out who's coming from council, who's coming from whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm actually going to lay out a little walkthrough schedule, I want to say, with people. So everybody who comes you'll be on the schedule. This will be your time to walk through,
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
all right.
Let me ask you about the trophies a little bit.
Mhm.
What are we gonna have on the trophies?
You're going to have that saying, Bel Air Beach Car Show, the year,
March 22nd,
Yeah.
2020.
yeah, right. And
Best
then
in
those
show.
classes, right, best in show.
So we
First
can
one
go
up.
ahead and get those.
You can
plaques
get
now.
those out, yes. You want to make one extra nice. The best in show's got to be the best one. Right.
Okay, but the plaques.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have smaller trophies, okay? So the difference is if you receive, and here's what I'm saying, if you receive the best in show, I don't think you should be getting a participation trophy.
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm asking is, I'm trying to figure out what we need written on the plaques, when we have to go get that written on the plaques, and all of that stuff.
Well, you would say Bel Air Beach, it's on that paper, Bel Air
Yeah.
Beach.
I'm just concerned because I'm supposed to be working with Kyle.
Right,
on
correct.
getting the trophies together, but
Yeah.
is Kyle gonna get the writing on the plaques?
Yeah, no, the city manager and Kyle will do that. All you gotta
Okay,
do
that's
is
what I
just
was
pick
asking.
out the trophies. No, you just pick out the trophies.
Okay.
That's your job, is to pick out the nice ones. And then and put them aside with him, and then he'll take them, they'll handle it, the city will handle it.
Okay, so I'll just get together with Kyle at any time and say,
Right,
let's use these.
right,
We got 4 trophies we're gonna use?
4 trophies,
4 trophies.
4 trophies.
And then hopefully, you say you already have the trophies?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, please tell me they're not plastic.
they are.
They are plastic, but they're the metal engraving things.
Trophies seem to be getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper and cheaper for obvious reasons. I mean, are these something, if we want people to come back, we need to give, particularly for the 4, we need to give them a decent trophy.
Oh, no, they're very nice. Let me show you.
Okay.
No, I do have pictures of the trophies.
Are they the same trophies, like in the same sort of round that like when we used for the other?
Well,
that
for
we
the
did?
kids thing, it was, no, those were the
Those are
cheaper
different.
trophies.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, no, these are, these are, okay, so let's, while I'm looking for them, let's keep moving forward on what we gotta do.
Okay.
Okay, so you're handling the layout with Kyle. You're gonna pick out the trophies.
Do you want me to call the car places and reach out to them like you did and just kind of follow up with them and see if they're interested in being judging for the, or if they have any, you know, get a list of all their followers? Do you want me to? do
Yeah,
that for
yeah,
you?
yeah, if you wanna
Okay.
do that, yeah.
I'll just call, do you have certain places you want me to call? Just the West Coast, what is it, the toy company? I know where it is. I can't, do you want me to call that place?
The toy store, if you wanna
Yes.
see if you want, yeah.
The
yeah,
toy
you could do-
store,
you could
and
do
then
the toy
West
store.
Coast Cars, is that what it is?
I'm sending him an email,
Okay,
yeah. That one is going, actually, that one I sent an email to.
okay. There's a couple other places, I'll find out, I'll call around.
Okay.
Okay, so I think that pretty much covers it. We have a food source, security source. We've got the layout in place. We have the times, the dates, the flyer will reflect exactly what you just said. Actually, I could even use that form as a flyer, couldn't I? That could be our flyer. What do you think, Lynn?
Yeah.
That could just be our flyer we put out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's just do that. Let's just go with that. That way it's not confusing. We again, just keep it simple. Keep it simple. So, is there anything else anybody can think of in reference to that? No? Okay, so
Well,
we
I-
do need to keep working on volunteers
Yeah.
all the time for this event. You know, for any of our events to get them, I will reach out to the council members and Gaddis. Gaddis is doing the music. So we have music going to be there. I have somebody loaning them a pop-up. Burke actually is loaning the pop-up tent for over the music.
And then he needs electricity and a table.
He needs electricity and a table. So we'll have Kyle, if or Lynn, if they could get him a table for his music, to set his music stuff on, and then
Okay.
and I suggested, I think the city has a long enough extension cord, if we put him this side of the tennis court right there, kind of like in the heart of things there, and that way the music can be used by all, and then too, when we go to announce the winners of the events, you know, kind of gives them a central location.
So right near the
So he-
pathway?
Right by the pathway, right by the sidewalk there. Do you remember where Cody's was set up?
Mm-hmm.
To the left, right
Yeah,
there?
yeah.
Maybe to there, because that's a little bit flatter ground, it's not elevated, maybe, or on that side and just run the extension cord through, you know, let's see. Trying to find them. I have not cleaned out my phone in a while. Okay, so I think we've covered everything. I'll keep looking for them as we're working. I think we've covered everything that I can think of. Anybody else have any input for the car show? Yes, no?
Should be a nice, easy, fun event.
It should
really
be a nice, easy, fun event.
Yep. it
Okay.
should be.
All right, so let's go to the discussion on Bayside Park grant and funding.
Okay.
Okay.
Before we do that, can I say one thing?
Sure.
One of the things I was asked to do was to contact, or volunteer to do, was to contact some of the sign people and about getting something to put up here on the causeway. And most of us here, half of us, most of us, 4 of the 6 were at the council work session. And we know, communication and stirring up interest in these events. And we had talked last meeting about potentially getting a banner that goes across Causeway Boulevard. So I've called, I've emailed them pictures of what the poles look like and
Right.
this, that, and the other. So I hope to have something back, at least an idea of how much money we're talking about. And my thought is, since we don't want to have all these, and we don't know how many of these events we're going to have in the future, we're working our way through this, but something kind of generic.
Right.
I won't bring this to a motion, but just to think about something that's going to say, community event, coming soon. Check the website for details or something like that, because we're not going to spend the money and get one because we don't know we'll do a car show
Right.
next year. We don't know we'll do a fashion or whatever.
Right.
So
Right.
I'm working on that, and we have to get that communication out there so people know that this is going on. And It sounded like when the mayor and the vice mayor were here, they didn't, and of course they're only part of the equation, but I don't think the council will have a problem with us putting a tasteful, council-approved banner up prior to events, because we know we're gonna get them if we get them coming home.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
here's the thing though, okay,
'cause
when
they're
we're
not getting
talking
the
about,
word.
but when you're talking about going across that road, you almost have to have something that is standing there. And you're just basically, like we had talked about, having almost like Velcro. where
A
you
double
can-
banner, like a
Yeah, you
banner
can
on a
put up,
banner.
yeah, because you,
Well,
So it's a permanent
it's more money to
structure.
do it on two
Right.
sides, and I would think we only really need it. I mean, if you're leaving, you're not thinking about it. You're coming home, everybody comes over Bel Air Causeway, I think, maybe, occasionally down Walsingham, but then you see it and it's fresh on your mind. If you're
Right.
leaving, you're not going to, you're running your errands or doing whatever you're doing, you're not even going to think twice about it. But when you come home, oh, community event, that's the 4th time I've seen that this week. I wonder what that is. But somehow we have to start communicating this to the residents. There's going to be the same people there every time.
So what you're
Right.
saying is you're suggesting like a permanent structure facing like away from Bel Air Beach, so anyone going over to
No,
the beach
the
will
writing
see
would
it.
be on the east side of it, this side of it. So
Okay.
when people are coming home,
Uh-huh.
they see it and
Oh.
it piques their interest and they go, oh, I wonder what that is.
Mm-hmm.
And then, go to our website. So anyway, I'm working on that
okay,
and hopefully by the next time we meet.
okay.
So we don't have
I'll
a price on it yet.
Don't have a price
Okay.
on it yet.
Have you talked to the people at Bel Air Bluffs?
No, I'm doing the people that do Indian Rocks. They work with 2 different vendors
Okay,
to do, and they do a lot of banners and signs. And they work with 2 people, happen to both be in Clearwater. And
But should you ever have to, the Bel Air, not the Bluffs, but the Bel Air Parks person is very accommodating too. She's very good about helping out. She's a good resource. And then
oh yeah.
Well, I think we know.
Treasure
Well, it's
Island
just a
is
matter
good.
of-
Treasure
yeah.
Island is good.
But
They're very
because I
helpful.
go to most of those events, they have banners all over the place.
They do.
That's the way they
do,
communicate with
do.
their residents, is by the banners.
Right.
And then, this will be written up in the Bel Air Bee, and it'll be in the neighborhood and this, that,
Well,
the
and
other.
here's the thing,
The only way
too.
you're gonna know that everybody has seen it is if they, oh, look at that.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree with you more. I
Bel Air
totally
always
agree.
has some kind of a banner.
They always
going
have
across
banners
the
up, yeah.
Right,
street
right.
like that.
But, they have
So, okay,
lift
we'll
trucks,
move
so
on,
that's
but
something we
I'm
have to
working on
take.
that.
That's something we have to take into consideration. Okay, so I want to talk about the Bayside Park grant and funding. Okay, that's number 5, discussion on that. Okay, so we all know that the city manager had put this grant, and he won 2nd in the state. It's just unheard of. It's great, and thank you very much. You did a great job. But that being said, I think we're going to have a little bit of problem trying to get the matching fund from the council because there's other issues within the city of things to be repaired. I kind of approached the council about this, doing a fundraising campaign, okay, to get money to help, okay, meet that grant. I've met with the city manager and asked him if he could buy us some time on having to turn it down, okay, if that come down to it.
Yeah.
And so he thinks he can buy us a little bit of time, but it's up to the council. I've reached out to Largo Medical Center. They are very interested. I mean, extremely interested.
Well,
So I'm supposed to be getting a call on Monday from their head person on that, and we'll see where that goes. And I'm hoping to, if that pans out, to sit down with that person and the city manager and myself and see where they're thinking about they would go with it. So it sounds like they might be all in. Okay, so that would be the full board grant. So they would be.
they would have that kind of money?
That's what I'm hearing. So I'm not. Let's not get our hopes up until
Yeah.
I talk on Monday. But it sounds like they might be all in. So because
Why?
because they're promoting healthy living, healthy
Okay. Okay.
Remember, we have exercise equipment on
Right,
that. These are all
right, right.
outdoor activities. These are those kinds of things. And that's actually how I approached it with them too as well.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
and,
that's
you know,
awesome.
we'll give them
Jen.
a plaque. And of
Well,
course,
no,
of course,
they
they'd be
need
in the
more than a
newspaper.
plaque
We'd
if
let
they
them
step
help
up.
cut the ribbon,
Yeah,
that kind of thing, you
Yeah.
know, but no obligation to them whatsoever,
yeah.
you know. So it's just, I raised it by them. We're going to find out.
That was a brilliant, great idea.
Yeah.
Great idea. Congratulations if they're even considering that. It's very noteworthy. Thank you.
I mean, if that falls through, what are our options? I mean, I know Lynn put a lot of time and energy.
He put a
into
lot
it.
of time in, and I have
Yeah.
to tell you that I've actually
I'm kind of
got a
disappointed
few
in the-
board members, council members, a little mad at me, but you know, he put a great deal of hours into it, and to get second in the state, that's just basically unheard of. So, with that kind of money, you know, that amount, so yes.
Well, the former Parks and Rec Board, of which you were a part, you guys obviously did a lot of work. And
No, we can't take any, Lynn.
oh,
did it
really?
all.
Yeah. Okay.
No, that's a fact.
Yeah.
no,
Lynn submitted the grant, he
Yeah.
put it all together, he did
Yep,
all the research.
absolutely.
He got all the surveys done.
Yep,
He did the
Yep.
planning for the park.
yep.
I mean, he did a lot, and I would
I-
assume that the city council
Yeah.
all along would have known about all of this, and
They did.
they should have said, wait a minute, hold your horses, we can't do it, or,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a great idea, submit it.
Yeah.
And it was submitted, and I'm really kind of disappointed that now they're backing off of it.
Well, I don't know that it's fair to say they're backing off on it. Lynn knows it better than I do, but they're just considering the big picture, I think is a more fair statement.
Well, if we're not going to go after grants like that, or if we're gonna go after them just to have them being withdrawn because we don't want to spend money,
Yeah. Well,
then
Maybe,
we should
yeah.
have told Lynn that 3 years ago.
And my point to the
Well,
council, and
yeah.
I'll go on record again, is if you don't do this, you're not saving face. If we want to go after grants in the future for other things within the city that we need help with financially, then we shouldn't be shooting down this grant. It just doesn't look good for us. It truly doesn't look good for us as a city, you know, to do that, because they're going to say, well, why, you know, why bother?
Yeah, well,
In
that-
my
that's-
opinion,
yeah.
but that's my opinion. But
Yeah.
That's free money when you think about it. If we
that
can
is
just get
free money.
matched,
That
we
is
can just match
absolutely
it,
free
then
money, yes.
we'll be
But
golden.
that being said, you know, I have no problem with trying to raise money. My other thing of it is that, like we had spoke about, is doing a fundraising campaign. Okay, and actively doing it, trying to get these citizens in, get them involved.
Yeah.
You want to buy a bench, you want to buy, you know, this, you want to buy that. Would you like to sponsor this? Would you like to sponsor that? So,
Yeah.
you know, I poster board put up showing our goals, how much money. People like visuals. You know, they
Oh,
love
yeah.
visuals. We have an easel set up,
Yeah.
maybe behind the counter over to the side, showing where we're at. This is our goal. This is how much we've collected to date. And I think I'd like to see us vote on trying to do a campaign, and then I will definitely get the council on the second to
Well, I think
approve.
before that's done, though, we have to establish that city foundation or a 501c3
Oh, right.
organization, which Burke talked about. He even talked about doing the work and paying for it at our last
Do
meeting.
you think it's got it if we're doing that?
I'm just gonna be,
Yeah.
we don't want, you know, because you're not city officials technically. And you may say something and the person may take what you said
Yeah.
and they may think the city said that.
Right.
Well, that's not true.
Right.
And if you want to be a fundraiser, then you really should be a foundation. You shouldn't be a park and rec board
Right.
doing it. You should be a foundation.
Well, that's a good
And
point.
The reason,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's got some issues that,
Yeah.
maybe the person took it wrong and they come back and say, well, that person told me, and the city would probably say, they didn't have authority to tell you anything.
Yeah, right.
So if you gave them money, that's on you, but
Yeah.
on the other hand, they could be suing the city because they felt that you're a representative of the city. And
Yeah.
mainly what happens when outside groups want to do fundraising,
Uh-huh.
it's a foundation.
Yeah.
Bel Air has one. They do it for certain things. They did raise $350,000 for a park a couple years ago. Right now, their foundation goal is their police department, and they have
Keeping it.
no. It's buying
Building.
equipment.
Oh, okay.
But the foundation has to be separate from this board.
Yes, it
Right.
has to be a separate
Absolutely.
entity. It's not the
Right.
Park and Rec Board. It's
Right.
whatever you want to call it, Bel Air Beach Community Foundation.
Right.
You know,
Yep. Yep.
you have to, you, and the other benefit to that is it's a write-off a tax write-off to someone. Them giving us money directly,
Right.
in most cases, it's not a tax.
No, particularly
Right.
we're not talking about $100.
Yeah.
Because
Right,
somehow Burke knew we'd still be here.
Yep.
right. So,
So,
hey,
Lisa, how did you make it here from the VA?
I was surprised the police didn't catch me. I raced over here.
What's
well,
up?
so I actually got the information from I got some information on a CPA that
Yeah.
could set up the 501c3. I've actually already been actively working on that. The city manager and I spoke about some bylaws. He has some copies he's gonna give me. I have some bylaws, and I'm gonna try to use those to combine the two. I actually already have, we cannot be, and correct me if I'm wrong, but we cannot be on the same committees, correct? Because we're on the same board?
I don't know, foundation-wise, that has nothing to do with the city.
Okay,
Realistically. I mean, I'll give you an example. Oldsmar had a art foundation, and there were people on the cultural arts committee
Yep. Yep.
that were on the arts foundation. Because
Yep.
that's a complete separate entity. You
From the city.
aren't part of the city,
Yeah.
you're just a fundraising group.
right, but if we're talking about something that's gonna come in front of our board at that thing, where does that leave us in the
The
sunshine
board
law?
has no rules on the sunshine. The board doesn't have that. It's only governmental committees,
Committees.
you know?
Yeah.
I mean, if
It's
you're
no
on.
different than the garden clubs or
That's
anything
right.
like that.
No, it's, yeah.
Right, but I'm saying if, say for instance, we were all on that 501c3, and we talked about we'll say $50 we raised for, people coming in, $50 we raised for the park board. Now we're gonna, we'll just say the car show. And now we're coming, and all of us are on the park board, and we come into, that's something that's gonna come in front of it. See,
It
you see
could.
where
It
it's
could.
complicated?
It could,
See,
but
so
technically
I've
that
actually
money's-
actively been seeking people that are not on this board to participate. Vice Mayor Gunn's wife has agreed to be the treasurer of the 501c3. Okay, so
Okay,
so
now,
I've
is this a
actively
city
been.
foundation, or are we talking about?
No, it's not.
It's a separate organization from the city and it's separate.
It's
treated
private,
separate.
sounds like it's
Right.
private,
Right.
not an entity totally
Right.
separate.
Right,
Has to be.
right,
And it's gotta be separate from the park board too.
right, right. So.
But it's not, I don't think there's a.
We can talk
So
to
I was
them.
hoping that
but they don't
Brooke's
have
wife
to.
would be willing to, Tracy would be willing to be on it, and so, and it's just a bare minimum board for it, just to get it started. We just have to have a slate of officers,
Yeah, yeah.
because when we start, I've done 501c3s
Yeah.
before. When we start, you have to have you have to register agents, you have to have certain things in place. So we're gonna do just the basics, okay? To start it off, and then we can regroup. You can always amend bylaws, but you have to have a certain set to
Yeah.
start it off with. And then you make those amendments, and then you follow them with the state. So we're just gonna have a basic set to get us started, and then once the organization gets going, then we'll go from there, okay?
And the
So-
purpose, if I could just clarify, the purpose of this organization is to specifically to fundraise and for our city, right?
For our city.
And have control over.
And, right, and the,
Outside.
right, so say for instance, we did something, let me just show the advantage to having one too. Say we're doing something that might be a little controversial, or we'll say might be something that the city's insurance does not like us to do
Right.
as the city, okay? We can funnel it through that nonprofit organization, okay? So it makes it, well, like the alcohol sales,
Right.
okay? That could have gone through, had we had that, that could have gone through it. And quite frankly, that is a big fundraiser for a multitude of things you can use that money for. So, okay, so I'm actively working on it. I want you to know I actually have a CPA that is willing to talk to pounce on that and get it rolling. He's got a set of bylaws that we're going to merge the two. I already spoke to him about meeting next week, the city manager, and we try to firm some things up, some expectations and what, some kind of guidelines, so that way we're on the same page with the city. So we don't want to be in any kind of conflict, have any kind of problems whatsoever. So I'm just letting you know where we are on that.
Lynn,
And-
do you see how this would be an asset or benefit to getting that funding, or that we're making?
You're too late for that.
Well, that's what I'm
Yeah,
talking
no, it wouldn't be in place in time.
How about, is there some way to spread that funding over multiple years?
It can be spread over 3 years. The city's commitment to that is 65,000, 2 years, and 71 year. And it's in the capital budget, but
Even that's not can apply very well?
no, because what has to happen here, how the grant works is the city has to expend the money, even though we're getting the match. As an example, what's in the capital budget for next year is 135,000. Okay, we have to spend that 135 to get 67,000 back. Okay, so it's you got to fund it to get it back.
Right.
So that's how it works. Just to clarify, there's no cherry picking. You can't cherry pick these grants. Because if you do, what happens is the points
Right.
drop. And
Right.
then what'll happen is
Might not qualify for
then
it.
you're not going to qualify. And,
So it's gotta be what we put in.
right. You
List the
can't
categories.
come back and say, okay, I just want a restroom. No, you can't do that. Kyle and I had a conference call with the lady at the state. I knew it for a fact, but I wanted to have another conversation with her because I've dealt with a lot of these grants, landowner conservation and FERDAP and FDOT and, SWIFTMUD stuff. So it's not something that and you can't say, well, I'll take your money and I'm only going to put in a tennis court. No, it's federal funding. They'll come back after you, and they do an audit.
Yeah, don't bet.
So it's all or nothing. And if if the council doesn't want it, they told me, because I laid that out to the city council. I told them, months ago, if you have no interest in it whatsoever, then don't waste our time.
Right.
And that was told to them in the council meeting. And at the time, they said, no, go ahead.
Yeah.
Because we can always turn it down. And I said, well, that's a waste of my time.
Yeah.
And, but we went ahead and did it.
Right.
And at this point, if they don't decide not to use it, which I think we're going to decide next month.
Did they come to, I know that, after our last meeting, you went to the council and you pitched that. So did they come to a definitive decision, the
No,
council?
we're going to have a discussion at the work session about the grant.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's still possible,
It's still possible.
but it's lifeline. yeah.
I'm the
And I think
65,000.
the
And
real,
and you missed it earlier. I actually, I'm having an appointment, going to be meeting with Largo Medical Center
Mhm.
about trying to get them to match it.
Wow.
And it sounds very favorable, but
Wow,
we'll see.
If
We'll
they
see.
agree to
Okay.
do, is
Wow.
that appropriate? I mean, is that possible?
Yeah.
If
Is
Largo
that,
Medical Center was to match?
what is that?
There
affordable
again,
Largo Medical Center?
I would think
The
Largo
person who's in
Medical
charge of all the
Center
fundraising
would want
and
to
things like
cover it
that.
under a foundation.
I would think.
Because,
Yeah.
you know, they're not gonna get a lot of bang from a tax standpoint out of
Right.
giving that money to the city.
Right, but you know what, if we have a commitment from them and we could throw together a 501c3 and a
Different
4.
story, different story.
So it would be, take a little bit of finagling,
Yeah,
but, I mean, if we really
yeah.
grind our heels in it and get this done, we would be good, okay? I
Yeah,
mean,
'cause a
and it helps that
501c3
we know how to
takes-
do them, the
takes about,
501c3, so,
I think you could probably create one in
6 weeks.
90 days.
90
90
days or
days.
less,
Yeah,
actually, or even less, actually, you know. if
So
you-
if we get
Because
positive
we
feedback
take
from
a
this group,
standard set
we
of
could use that
bylaws
Mm-hmm.
with the understanding that we would change them.
That's what
We
you
just
do.
need the standard to get it going,
Yeah.
okay? So we took a standard set of bylaws. The registration is
you
nothing
gotta get a
online.
tax ID.
But we have to get a
all
tax
that.
ID, the tax ID is a little bit longer, okay? But then, you know, my other question is, if we set that up, would the city allow that group to meet here?
No, most cities, they don't have an issue with that. It's just,
Okay,
they wanna make sure there's a separation.
right,
Because
correct.
we don't want somebody, you know, a lot of these foundations, they have membership, you know,
Mhm.
they, like, in Oldsmar, our Cultural Arts Foundation, I think it was $50 a year.
Mhm.
They had a membership, so
Right,
that money went into they had fundraising events, they used to have Mardi Gras and all this crazy stuff.
Right.
Right.
That, and they did raise quite a bit of money. I mean, they did a lot of stuff, for the city of Oldsmar. I mean, we got old water tanks painted with artwork from, you know, and things on our amphitheater and,
mhm,
statues throughout the city, those bronze things.
mhm.
Let's see, what else did they do? I'm trying to think. Well, they did many things, so I'm gonna go find out who that is.
It's a big group of people. It's like a party or something.
It looks like a party, yeah, it's a big group.
I'll check it out. They're not supposed to be in here till tomorrow.
How did you get your OVA? I thought you'd be
Oh, I
doing
left it like my tour duty ends at 3:30,
Oh.
so I was able to come, but it still took me forever.
Okay, so
Yeah,
that's
I
where we're
left
at,
at 3:30
and
also.
if you guys are good with that, I'm just gonna proceed
should
with that.
find
I didn't
out.
wanna do it
I
until,
should take it, I did wrong.
but I am gonna just
Tracy
proceed
told me
with
to.
putting
So
this
what-
together.
It would be,
That
it would be a,
nonprofit.
what would be a
20 minutes
potential
to
name?
bridge.
It took me an hour.
We don't, that's.
Bel-
Bridge?
Yeah.
Beller
Oh,
Beach,
wow.
Yeah, it
Beller
got worse
Beach,
after you.
Community Foundation.
Community Foundation, right?
How about Beller Beach Community
Enough
Foundation for the
document
name
of
for the
415.
501c3?
Yeah, I like it.
Beller-
Beller Beach
And I got
Community
your-
Foundation, I like it.
Before the 501c3?
Yeah, Beller Beach Community Foundation.
I like that.
Does that sound good with you too?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Bel Air Beach Community. Bel Air Beach Community Foundation?
Mm-hmm.
Joan, who was that gentleman that was sitting here the whole time?
He attends a lot of meetings.
What's his
Is he a
name?
resident?
He is a resident. I can't
He was
think of
just
his name.
observing?
He was a voter for us, so.
What's
He's
his
good.
name? What's his
I can't
name?
think of his name.
I
I'm
can't
sorry.
But he's just a citizen, just a.
Yeah, okay. Yes, that's all he is.
Because I almost tripped over him because he didn't give away.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so that's why I'm gonna proceed with that. Okay, so,
Do you need to get the council's approval to do that, or since they don't have anything
oh,
to do
no,
with it?
no, they have nothing to do with that.
Okay.
It's a totally
Yeah.
separate entity.
Yeah, no, they have no
It's
control
like a
over
club,
this.
right?
No, they have no
Forming a
control
club.
over it, but shouldn't they be aware of it?
They'll be aware of it.
They'll be aware of it when we do it. I can,
Okay.
anybody, you could.
But they can't say yes or
You could live
no.
over in Indian Rocks and start a foundation, anybody can start a
Understood.
nonprofit.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I don't
got you.
have to have their approval for
It's like a
this, so.
club, like a garden, all kind
Yeah.
of the same
Exactly.
idea.
Right,
Can I share a thought before?
Sure.
Yeah,
That's why I wanted to stop in. I feel for you guys, and June, you were up in front of them the other night, and I know how hard Lynn works. First of all, it's amazing. I don't know what we do without Lynn. This whole thing on the park, it's communication, and I'm telling you, you just look at what's happening, think of what's going on, and how people don't know or do know certain things. I'll give you an example. I'm not gonna put names out there, but on one side, if you're a resident, and the only thing you do is look at a video once in a while, you're hearing a 5-alarm fire. We gotta sell things, we gotta raise millage. That's what you're hearing. Same resident might have residency on a street that, gosh, Lynn, when are we gonna get our flooding taken care of? And we're trying to pace these things out. On the other side, you're up there going, I need approval to spend $200K. This is just a communication thing, and if you really went for it and came in X to the walls prepared, I won't say what I'm thinking, meaning give that council what they're looking for. Hey, here's the cost. Here's option B, C, and D. I've got this foundation, this is what I'm looking at. Get it nailed down and present a sound case. This is why. Because you're always going to have that citizen come up and go, what about our street? We don't want that. No, that's not right now. This makes sense in the long term. Nip it in the butt. You got to think also on all these committees that are going on, they're all talking about selling things and getting rid of properties. Well, why are you tying up that property if for some reason one of these departments or committees are talking about selling it? We need to nip it in the butt and get down to, let's nip it in the butt. Hey, financially sound, we're gonna get the revenue stream here, stormwater here, here's what we're gonna do. That's what's missing is the communication. I guarantee you could get the votes if you went in with data, slides, presentation.
Actually, I already started putting together a slideshow
I just
presentation.
hate to see all the work go to waste.
Yeah.
It's not a bad project.
Right,
It's
right, and
it's
I
about
actually
the
was gonna do
communication
comparison
that's
to
going
other
on.
cities.
You've got a lot going on, and part of it is all this talk that's on the recordings, that's the only thing people are hearing. It's 5-alarm fire. Well, how can we do that and not this? So I just I feel for you, because you're standing up there asking for approvals on things, and on the other side, you've got committees maybe selling properties is on the list that you're asking approvals for. It doesn't make sense. So we gotta get to the.
Well, there's a misnomer here.
Please.
On that property out there. The city can't sell it, they can't buy it back, and they can do nothing with it but park.
Cool.
And I've said that.
Yep, you have.
Numerous times.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, well, we can get 100 grants and the sky's falling. The sky is not falling. And I've told this to every committee this week. Rick, I told it to your committee, the sky is not falling.
Nope.
And if we do some things like the stormwater fee, which we're talking about, that's gonna add some revenue that's 5 years this building's paid for,
Yeah.
So, do you go get a loan? No, you don't need to. Wouldn't it be nice if
No,
5 years from now, this building's paid for? Guess what that does for you? You got $200,000 more dollars going into your budget. You got a stormwater fee that you're looking
yeah,
at.
140.
So,
You got rental registration heading 40. Yeah. No, we're pretty flush, really.
This is the business case.
Yeah.
That's the business
Yeah.
case. That's what's missing
Yep.
to get you the votes. It's not the back end on the approval, that's the communication.
Well, actually, if we talk about the real elephant in the room, doesn't have anything to do with the money on
And June,
this.
it doesn't help the facts matter, the business case matters. I'm telling you, take what he's saying in each committee and put it into a presentation. Because it makes sense. We're just, let's get to this 5-year thing, and it can be done easily. Gosh, we just pushed out.
So
many
I
years.
almost would actually, I think what you're saying, and what would probably be a good idea, is to reach out to each one of these committee chairs, these groups, and let's sit down and put together a presentation that we all can be comfortable with and present it. Because this is your plan, this is their plan, and this is our plan. And let's see how they can all come together and we meet in the middle and
I think if
And
I-
get everything
if-
done,
but
all our
if
goals
I'm in
done.
a sales situation and I know I have one shot, I'm either gonna extend that meeting until I'm fully prepared, or I am gonna come in completely prepared. And some of that's some lobbying, but it's the presentation that's missing. You can't stand up there and tell people it's gonna be mud in your face if you don't do it. That doesn't get it done. But the facts make the difference, and you have them. You have
Yeah.
them.
Oh, yeah.
Where the sky isn't falling and it isn't a 5-alarm fire, let's quit saying that. So that's my 2 cents.
All right,
Yep.
thank
I'd be
you.
happy to help, and individually,
Yeah.
I will talk to people individually.
I appreciate that, yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Thanks for all your
And you know, do we
But
have,
one
your-
thing I
I
want-
don't have
yeah.
your contact information. Would you mind if I had your contact information?
No, you
But-
can have my cell phone.
Here, let's not put it on the record. Write it down. No, I'm caged in here. Lisa, can you pass this down to him, please?
You know, one thing though, to follow on what you said though, the real elephant in the room is not so much the money. It's the nature, at least in my opinion, and I'll talk about this later in the overall pictures of what we're doing as a committee here. It's the nature of our community. You know, do we want, I mean, it's right back to the same old thing. Do we want people from Largo coming? I never use this park. As Mr. Marsh said in his, in his way, it's Bel Air Beach. How many people use the parks? How many of the people here live here? Do we, you know, do we want bathrooms over here? So now people are all coming over here and hanging out at our park. So the residents don't even want to go there because it's full of, I'm not gonna say,
But it
but
wouldn't be a
You know,
discussion though,
that's-
if the sky wasn't falling.
But
Well,
you know,
I
Councilman
think
Beam had a
there's-
great idea, and I'm 100% behind him on this, is fencing it from there to the building. Putting a fence up, so that way we at least cut down on some of the traffic coming in from the causeway. You know, people walk-ins and things like that, you know, cut down on it some.
I said probably less than 20. Lynn, when we had a conversation about this, he said probably, I asked him about how much, what percent. He said it's probably 50-50. But all I see Bel Air Beach residents doing is passing through with their dog and continuing on about their business. I don't think a lot of Bel Air Beach people fish over there or go to or hang out there. Because we have all the beaches over here.
No, they don't hang out, but there are people that use it. They go paddle boarding, they
Yeah,
go kayak.
yeah.
They go
Yeah.
fishing over there.
Yeah,
And you're not gonna stop the
Right.
walkers. We hear
But you-
the beep that you hear when them doors open.
Yeah,
We hear that 100 times a day
I'll bet.
right.
and it's from somebody that's walking the bridge, that's
That-
coming to get a drink.
Or to go to the restroom, right.
You hear
Whoever
that-
they are, they're
that
talking
ding?
about Bel Air Beach.
Huh?
And they're talking about how beautiful Bel Air Beach is.
Yeah,
Yeah, the 100 times a day, that door opens.
yeah, I'm sure.
Sell it. That's the name of the game, sell it, and use the facts,
Yeah.
and it's overcoming that you just talked about, and the financial gap that people think is there, but it isn't as bad as we think.
Right.
Wish
Well,
everybody a nice weekend.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
thank
Yeah.
Can
you.
you unlock the door, Lynn, or is that?
You can go up. You
Okay.
can go up.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, have a good evening. So, you know, one of the things, the reason one of the ways I've been addressing, I actually lobbied every one of but one of the council members personally, separately, besides at the meeting the other day. I met them all up here individually. And the things that I said to them is when we increase our value of our properties every time we put money into the city for different things, for beautifications. And the thing I said was that, you know, when we had the trunk or treat, we were stopping any cars coming in at the time. We happened to have the barricades down, and 2 cars pulled in and they weren't participating. And Kyle and I were standing there, and I told the guy, you know, are they participating in the trunk or treat? And he said no. I said, well, we're shutting the park down for a period of time. And he says, I'm a
Real
realtor.
estate, right?
He says, I'm a realtor. I'm showing this lady this property, this park, because she's thinking about buying in Bel Air Beach. Okay, so it is an attractant. And that's how I've been approaching it with the council. It is an attractant for our city. Okay, and then the strategic plan is about beautification and so forth. So, anytime we put money into our city, we're also raising our own values. So when we raise our own values, we're raising tax dollars for the city. So it's a circle there that helps the city as well. So, that's how I've been approaching it with the council about trying to make sure that we continue to put money into our parks and definitely into this grant. So, presentation has to come forward. Yes, I have to work on it. The next few weeks are going to be very, very tight for me because I'm going to try to really buckle down and get this 501c3 done. I'm going to get the presentation down for council. I am hoping to put something together for the council meeting. I've already asked to be on the agenda for the second. We'll see. Okay, if not, but I'm hoping to have that done. So anything you guys can do to pitch in with this car show would be great. So anything else you can pitch in with it that, to take a little bit of a burden off, I would appreciate that.
Well,
have a
let's look
definite
at what
date for
needs to
that?
be done. Like, is there anything, did we cover everything that just so we can take
Okay,
care of
well, you're gonna
everything?
take that, I have to put together goodie bags still. Goodie bags have to be done for the car show. So, each participant gets a little goodie bag. We've gathered
Okay.
up some stuff. The city manager was able to exchange some of the stuff we had from the kids' Christmas stuff
Okay.
for, I think we got chamois,
Chamois and
Oh, that's great. Good idea.
some protecting.
Yeah.
So
So
we
you need
have
like
some
20?
things.
How many are you thinking?
Well,
Like
we need-
30 to 50?
We need 30 to 50 bags, but here's the thing, when you talk to that car dealership, he might be willing to do the goodie bags, okay? And actually Largo Medical said that they would be interested in doing the goodie bag. She's waiting for a response back on that. So, but I don't care if we have several different goodie bags, we can use them for other things as well. So, the contents can be used for future events for different things, so, But goodie bags are generally chamois, Armor All,
Sure.
tire foam cleaner, wax, never car scents. Never car scents, that stains the rugs.
Never what?
Never car scent.
Oh, car scent, right.
Yeah, never car scent. It actually, the alcohol in it will, so any collector car, yeah, I did learn that one. Anything else you think could be in there, Lynn?
I mean, they're here to show their car off to the public.
Yeah, it's just a,
Right.
just a treat bag. It's
They
not-
have
Yeah.
If
gallons of
Something
stuff.
small.
Treat bag.
maybe if the sponsor was willing to buy each one of them a Kona Ice, or something like that, we could put a little certificate in there. Okay, good for one Kona Ice. Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where we're at. I'm gonna actually talk to Jerry and see if he's interested in coming with his photography thing. But that's independently, he does his own thing, and if
Yeah.
anybody wants, picture with a car
Yeah.
or something, maybe do that. I will talk to Wayne Ayers and make sure that, if he wants to be here for it. If not, we'll make sure we have some pictures or something to submit to him. Kyle brought it up at the kids' Christmas thing, Lynn, about a waiver. Do you have a waiver in case we want to use a photo of somebody to promote our events?
I probably have some somewhere.
Yeah, so if we could get something like that just to use for
Yeah.
because like we have of the park board, we took a
This is the
picture
newer
of us with Santa. So I would obviously use that next year to promote the Christmas thing. But say, if we could use other people instead of the park board all the time would be good,
Yeah, they're-
Sunday.
We had it I've got something from probably old Mark.
Okay. Because I would need
have
one
one.
for Santa to sign one, and the Santa is willing to sign one, but I still would need one to have him
Not for
sign.
Santa, you don't need a release.
Do I have to have Santa to sign a release? Okay, all right, then we're good with that. Okay,
That comes with being a Santa?
No, if it's
No?
a public event where you take pictures, you
Right.
don't have to have a release from me.
oh, okay, we're good then.
Oh, it's a mess.
That works. That totally works. Okay, so let's the consideration of events. okay, I've been told by the council they want dead dates, so bring out your calendars and let's get some dates on the books for this stuff. I have to have that together as well for the,
I thought we already had one.
no, we only had a few. They want them all. And I want to have, Plan B dates. Okay, so rain dates. So let's get those on the board.
And I would suggest that you prepare a list and put it in writing that you just hand to them. So, just because it makes the discussion
Right,
flow faster.
right.
Just a calendar,
Yeah,
every month and then what it,
no,
No
you don't
event
even
or-
need that. Just, it's basically a memo that says, okay, this is what we've got projected, and these are our projected dates.
Right,
Give it to them,
right, with a scheduled rain date of such and such.
yeah, because.
Or an alternate date, we'll say alternate date, that covers it in case something comes up. And here's my thinking with this. If he gets a hall rental, because we're trying to keep
Right.
the money flowing for the city here. So if he gets a hall rental, we'll say on the 10th, and we had something on the 10th, but we have an alternate date of the 12th, then we're gonna try to do the 12th if all possible. So that way the city gets the revenue. So that's my thinking. So we would do the alternate date. So let's work on that right now. So let's start with the. You all have your calendars at. Okay. So we all know that the 22nd is the car show. Oh, that's the other thing on that calendar. Can you put a rain out on that flyer? Can you put rain out date of the 28th, or is that on there? 29th, I mean 29th? Rain date? Yeah. The 29th. Okay, so that's March. April, we said we were gonna just take a break. And that would be good because then we can work on some other things, which would be trying to get those other things in place. So May 3rd, you're talking about the 5K.
I'm just not gonna have time,
Yeah.
So do we want to just scratch the 5K for now?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna scratch the 5K for
Yeah.
now. Okay,
You're really too close to
Yeah.
that.
yeah, that's kind of like the boat thing. I had to start the boat
I
parade
ran
already.
Right.
The Rotary 5K in Oldsmar one year. I started on that 9 months before it.
Yeah, see,
Wow.
Yeah.
and that's the boat
It's
parade
quite
you
a
have to
project.
start.
You just,
Yeah,
yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not something you can do
Okay.
in 30
Yeah.
days.
okay. So then we have, let's see, the next thing would be music in the park in June.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do we want to go that long without having, can we put, what about music in the park in May?
May's
Yeah,
a
let's do-
horrible month for families. With
Is it?
schools, I mean, we used to call mayhem in the school system. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a million
You're
things
finishing,
going on.
you're right.
AP
Yeah, I
exam.
know,
Yeah,
trust me, I
forget
know
May.
PTA.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
June
That's
is
my
when,
graduation,
June is
too.
like nice because that's all the kids are finally out of school. And
Yeah.
it's-
And most vacations aren't
Okay.
until later
Well,
July.
and again, I said this to the council, and I'm hoping you all are agreeing with this. If we can do as many of these events on Sunday, because most of the hall rentals for this hall, a lot of times are on Saturdays. So when we're planning out, we can pretty much guarantee that we're gonna be able to have a Sunday and not coincide with somebody
So
wanting to rent
what
the
event
hall.
would be June?
So I'm thinking.
Summer concert series or whatever we want to call
Well, you're talking
it.
about Morgan's Park, beach party.
That was in
Yeah.
July.
Okay, well, let's go with June first. Music in the park in June. Okay, and so I'm thinking because school already be out maybe June 7th with a rainy out date of the 14th. Okay,
Mhm.
So you're thinking of the primary date will be the 7th?
yep, the primary date would be the 7th. And the rain out date would be the 14th. Now, I don't want to do in the hottest part of the day. That would be, so I'm thinking 4:30, 5 o'clock, maybe 5 to 7, 5 to, how long does Bel Air's go? Do you know? They're 2 hours, 3 hours?
These are a couple hours to
Yeah, because we don't have, at that time, how late is it light out, Lynn?
Oh, by that time,
Mm-hmm.
8:30.
Yeah,
Okay, so if we had it to 5 to 8, does that sound good, 3 hour window?
it's a pretty long time.
Hmm.
Mm, 3 hours is a long time.
5 to 7:30?
You could do 6 to 8, like after dinner,
6 to 8 sounds good.
because
Yeah.
otherwise you'll have
Okay.
to feed everybody, you know
Yeah.
what I
Okay,
mean?
6
Right.
through 8. Okay.
Families
Okay.
can eat early, school's out.
Okay, all right, so we have that one. So then, the beach party, we talked about doing that one in July at Morgan Park.
Well, we have a 4th of July, I think, do we?
Yeah, we talked about if we did it on the 4th of July, we would do it early, or not, we would do it on the 3rd and have it in the evening. So you guys
Just
just,
a comment,
yes.
that is a 3-day holiday weekend,
Yeah, people will be out of town.
and,
Well, that'll be on the
That's-
beach, right?
well, that's, a lot of people will be on the beach,
And a lot of outsiders.
and a lot of revenue is collected in the.
Yeah, so
weekend.
see, we're cutting into the city's revenue, so
Uh.
I actually didn't want to do it on the 4th of July weekend, so.
Nope, I won't be here 4th of July weekend, so. I'm
So
sure many.
I was actually, and we could do it on a Sunday again, it's not as busy. So even down there, so like the 12th, July 12th. What do we think?
On
Lynn,
a
what-
Sunday afternoon?
Yep, Sunday afternoon with a rain out date of the 19th. Does that sound good to everybody?
What time are you thinking?
Well, you're gonna have a little bit of cookout, hot dogs and just very simple, so I don't
Well,
know.
I have no idea what we're talking about.
4 to
though.
7
Are we talking
p.m.?
about us putting on, are we buying and cooking food or is
Well,
this just
and
bring
what-
your own food?
I was
and-
thinking hot dogs, chips, the city has grills.
Are you talking about Morgan Park?
Morgan Park,
Okay.
yeah.
And you're
So
talking
girls
about
are
like a
there.
dinner sort of thing as opposed to lunch?
Right, right,
Okay.
right, yeah, because July, it's the hottest part of the day. Yeah. So
Like a sunset.
kind of a
gathering.
sunset,
So what
we
day are
we
you talking
end
about?
at sunset and we're
July
out of
12th.
As
there.
Rick says, who's bringing the food? Is it BYOB or?
Well, here's the thing, I thought if we could maybe supply, this is where we could start doing a little bit here, and we supply the hot dogs and buns and chips. And then try to get everybody, you bring your own drinks, you know.
So no sponsoring from any of the local restaurants, right?
Well,
It's
we'll
just
see. We'll see. I might be able to get somebody to just buy the dogs, you know.
The only problem with
and the
that
buns.
is that who's gonna be manning and cooking all the hot dogs?
But that would have to be
you
us.
know?
That would have to be us. We can't have just anybody walk in off the street doing that. That would have to be us or a city employee that we can. Yeah, no.
Sunday,
Council
July,
members.
that parking lot will probably be full by 10 a.m. and stay full. Where are people gonna park to go to more? I mean, that's a public park.
I know.
It's gonna be jam-packed.
Yeah.
I mean, people will be using people will have reserved.
You know, I don't know why we were doing it there. You know, we do have a
Well-
little bit of a beach here.
I don't
And
know
it-
that
we
Morgan
could have
Park is
had-
the way to do it, because we wanna get all the revenue from all the people parking in there.
Yeah, I think we could have, I wanted to have it out here, because
Is
then you
there
have
parking
some shade
meter? I don't
too.
think there's parking meter or, okay.
Yeah. So
Isn't
you
there an
you
area
don't
across the
get a
street
On
lot.
to
Morgan
park?
Park, yeah.
Isn't there an
Well,
area
that's the only
across
park
the
with the
street
parking
to
meters
park? There isn't,
Yeah,
isn't
we
it?
gotta put
Trying to
meters
think.
elsewhere
The
too.
marina's nowhere
Well,
near
that was
there,
something
is
we
it?
talked about, yeah.
Okay,
Um,
so how about we do it at Bayside? We have the cookout thing. I mean, you have water here, you have a water here. Then we can actually make it kind of like a picnic, because you have the basketball courts, we can set up the,
Problem is it's gonna be hot.
it will be hot, but we have shade. We
Yeah,
do have
and-
shade out here.
Yeah,
We do have some shade.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, you
I-
do
I
have a
would
beach
prefer-
but
there.
the same thing is
I mean, we
over
might
there.
have
I
to
don't know.
rent a
What do you
grill.
want to do with it? Well,
Yeah.
no, we have grills. We have
I don't know,
portable
Morgan
grills.
Park
We do.
just seems
Are
like it's a good
dogs
place to
allowed
have
at this
beach
beach
party.
here? Or this?
Dogs are not allowed on our beaches at all.
No, I don't mean I don't mean the beach beach. I mean the city hall intercoastal
They can't be on the beach, they
Okay.
can be.
running around.
Park,
Yeah.
but they can't be on the beach.
Well, another real advantage is we can stage stuff here too. I mean, you go to Morgan Park, you've got
It's
to
too
get
small.
everything in,
Yeah.
everything out. Here, I'm sure we need a little place, corner
Well,
in
he's
the
got some
storage
gas
room.
grills. The city has some gas grills.
They don't have to haul the stuff down there and back.
Right.
but it's not a beach party. I mean, well, it is a beach party, but I mean, it's not
Right.
beach.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us don't get our beach time. I mean,
Right,
Right.
right.
We could
this is
just
a really neat place. and
beach
you've got-
party picnic or something, beach.
Well, the other bottleneck, as you just said, we have to cook. Doesn't leave much. I know that my family will be in Spain that month.
Okay.
So that leaves George, Rick, maybe
Yeah.
Lisa.
Well, then maybe we
you,
don't
and
want to
then
do it
what's
in
that?
July because now it's not a 4th of July thing. We can do it a different month. Just something to think about. We didn't have to, it was you all wanted to do the July Morgan Park thing, so we don't
So
have to do
August.
in July. Well, we could even do it, we can back it up and go back here and
To
go.
May. I was thinking we could back it up in May on a
You can
Sunday.
back it up on a May on a Sunday and just have just have a cookout in May.
Or August.
Yeah, or August. Before they go back to school, the kids go back to school. You could do,
You could do it at the end of July. They go back, a lot of them go back first week in August. Teachers go back.
so you could have it, I want to say August 2nd.
It's gonna be hot as places.
And that's what I'm thinking. At least at the beach, you'd cool off in the water.
Well, then if you go back to, here's the
Yeah,
thing.
it's hot.
Here, so why does it have to be, why couldn't we do April and then just make it like a cookout, but also do like Easter egg hunt?
Yeah.
So just skip the whole beach pick and just have it in
Right.
April.
Yeah, just have it in April and then do like an Easter egg hunt for the kids and
That
and try to get some horseshoes
That,
and
that sounds good.
and-
And,
and-
tug of war.
Yeah.
and tug of war, those kinds of things. Maybe we could get some those sacks and do sack races. The
Yeah.
old fashioned sack races.
Do
Yeah,
love
beanbag
those.
races,
Popular.
those are easy. You just put them on your head and you race with the beanbag.
Right, right.
whoever
So we could
drops
just,
it.
as a board, come up with some
Yeah.
very picnicky kind of games.
Yeah.
That bean, what is that
Where you
toss?
sock
Well, we
on.
had the thing before with the whole cornhole. Okay, we have those. We have the community already has
We
a
have
lot
the
of those.
three-legged race.
We have the three-legged race
Dating
would be
myself,
cool.
but-
Right.
Yeah, so we could just do simple things like that.
Yeah.
Again, once again, just shut the park entrance down. Park can be out here, and this would definitely be,
Shut the park
A-
entrance down.
the drive-through.
Okay.
So people couldn't drive into the park.
Yeah.
Everybody
Yeah,
have to park
moving
up.
from
But
Morgan
this
Park
would
to here
definitely
changes the
be.
dynamics.
Here's the cool thing about this one event. This is definitely a community event.
Yeah.
This is something that brings neighbors together.
Right.
This
Right.
this is
I
what
agree.
That's
I
right.
originally
Yeah.
envisioned for this board. So
Yeah.
if
Are we gonna
we
have
just have a-
time though to plan it? That's the thing.
Oh,
April's
this
right
is
around
this
the
is
corner.
this is simple.
It's,
I mean,
yeah.
you're
You
going
don't
to
need
be in charge of
sponsors.
this game, putting
Yeah.
it together. You're going to be in charge
Yeah.
of this
Yeah.
game. It's that
Just colored
simple.
eggs,
I mean,
yeah.
okay, you would be in
Plastic
George
eggs.
would be in charge of a
We
game,
hide all the
putting it
plastic
together.
eggs.
Yeah,
And,
right,
whoever
right.
finds a golden
Yeah.
egg gets a little.
Yeah, you want to do
prize, the
Easter
kids
eggs?
run
You want to
it.
do the
Yeah,
eggs?
Oh,
good.
kids
Okay,
just
I'm
love
delegating.
that.
So here we go.
I'm gonna
You're
do
delegating.
Okay.
So what do we?
The bags where you jump
Yeah.
the potato sacks. Can you want to be in charge of the potato sacks?
Yeah, I guess I'll go to
I
Largo
can do the
Feed
three-
and
I can
get
do the
some of those.
three-legged
You
Largo
race.
probably
Feed.
you might be able to get them to donate them.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's a sack race. I can do the
sack
three-legged
race.
race.
Okay,
I
and
like
I'll
that.
ask Robin Aki to borrow her cornholes again. Who else was it you had? Was
I
it
have
you that had
cornholes.
some? And you
I do
had
have
cornholes. Okay, so cornholes are handled.
So we're not doing it July.
How about
we're talking
horseshoe
about doing
sets?
April,
Well,
right?
yes,
Yeah.
we're
Here's the
moving
only
it.
thing:
Easter egg.
horseshoes, metal.
When is Easter this year?
Easter's
Yeah,
the
what
12th.
date are you
Sunday the
thinking
12th.
about?
So do we want to do it that day, or do we want to do it the weekend
Oh,
before?
no, we don't want to do it on
Weekend
Easter
No.
Day.
No,
I
no,
won't be
No,
here.
no,
So
no.
April 5th, maybe?
Yeah.
April 5th.
The
Does that
weekend
sound
before
good?
in anticipation of Easter.
Now that's very
'cause
close
after
to
the
March
fact,
22nd, though. It's very close.
Yeah.
It's like
That's
two
also,
weekends away.
that's also Palm Sunday for.
Oh, yeah, no, that's not good.
How about the
I mean,
weekend
that-
following? Weekend following?
Yeah.
Following Easter,
Following Easter?
you wouldn't have an Easter egg. hunt.
Yeah, you wouldn't have an
No,
Easter egg
yeah.
hunt.
But he was saying the weekend before is not gonna work, you
And
know?
And
Oh,
Easter
she have it
doesn't.
on a Saturday.
April 11th.
Yeah, yeah. That's not good for me. I'm not gonna commit to anything there, because that's a huge family time. I'm
Yeah.
pretty strong Christian.
Well, and you're-
I'm not
aren't
gonna
you
be
your
tied up
family?
with the family things, church
Yeah.
things.
right.
That's my priority during that whole
Yeah.
weekend.
Okay, so
Palm
let's.
Sunday and Easter.
Okay, so we have the car show and the date on the 29th, so we don't want to back up into March at all, okay?
No.
So we don't have to have it as an Easter egg
That's
hunt.
what I was
Again,
saying.
We could
Right.
just go
The
back to our
following
original
weekend,
plan.
Yeah.
It's just having a family, this is
A
kind of a
spring.
family community
Yeah.
kind
So
of
it's a
thing.
family picnic,
Yeah.
is that maybe
Yeah.
what we call it?
Yeah, forget
How
about
about we
the-
do it like the
dates.
26th of April
How
or
about
the
Biller
19th?
Beach Community Picnic,
Yeah.
Yes, I like it.
okay?
This week,
Yeah.
Biller Beach Community Picnic, that's the name
Okay.
of it,
That sounds good.
this weekend, my 20th Street's having a block party.
okay?
And all the people just got together by themselves and said, let's all meet in somebody's driveway and
Mhm.
Right.
bring in competition and share a meal.
Mhm.
April 26th,
I'll
Bel
tell
Air
you
Beach
how that
Community
works.
Picnic.
Yeah.
You like that date, the
26th?
26th?
Yeah, no, our
Okay.
neighbors actually have been
I like
working
that
on
date
trying to
too.
put one of those together on our street, huh?
So you were
April
thinking of April
26th?
26th, April 6th Sunday, the community picnic?
No, wait a minute,
Or
wait a
it
minute,
could
wait a
be
minute,
May.
wait a minute, we might have a problem, we have emos training. Advanced
We could do it in
emos is
May.
that weekend. So we'll be in Daytona for the city, a lot of us.
How about May 3rd?
I'm not gonna be able to do May 3rd. My daughter is having a performance that day.
Okay,
Oh, good.
how about May 10th,
That's Mother's Day.
Mother's
Oh,
Day?
right.
Well,
Unless mothers wanna
Good.
share. We wanna share in
There's a
our,
dedicated husband, if you know
Right.
that.
I know, right?
She's got him trained.
Right.
Maybe that's a
I
good
didn't even know
weekend,
that.
Mother's Day
That's what I
weekend.
call it.
May 17th. May 17th.
Now, you guys, is that
Good
okay?
idea.
Because I remember you said that May is a real busy time, but I think a couple hours on a Sunday would be all
Okay.
right. What do you
Yeah,
May
think?
yeah.
17th,
17th
everybody look at
sounds
your
good.
calendar, May 17th, we're good?
Yeah.
Okay, May 17th, and this is the Bel Beach Community
Picnic.
Picnic.
Picnic in the park.
Yeah.
Pic-
Well, I don't want it to be, because we're gonna have music in the park, so we want it to kind of stand alone, have it separated from that. So if we have Bel Beach Community Picnic,
Okay.
what do you think?
Yeah.
Everybody good with that name? Okay,
Yep.
all right. And here's the thing, you have to have a rain out date. The only problem is if we do the rain out date, I won't be here, but I think
May
you've got,
24th,
we'll have
yeah.
everything in place. It's the 24th is the rain out
That's
date.
Memorial Day weekend.
Oh, yeah, okay,
Oh,
so
yeah.
we're not gonna have a rain out
No
date.
rain.
Right, if it rains.
We're not
forget
collecting money for this, so we're
Right,
good. We don't,
that's
we,
true.
okay, so we'll just have, the 17th will be the set date, okay? And if we have to reschedule, we can reschedule down the road.
it. Yeah.
Okay, so we have the 17th, that's the thing. Okay, so, we have the boat parade is in December, okay? No, let's go in October. The Halloween trunk or treat.
So we're going from May through, we decide June concert, and then from June to October.
Yeah. Okay, because you're gonna have an October and then you're gonna have the boat parade thing, so.
And then
okay,
the fall festival, we're still doing the fall festival, right?
Well, fall
In
festival's in November,
That's
so,
the
so
big one.
we're gonna have a few months we're not doing things.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, a majority of the citizens
And
are
that's
coming out,
that's
so
good
summer
because
we can
it'll
do
give
some
us
time with the
for
family
October,
and,
November,
Yeah.
so.
and to put this stuff together, so
Yeah.
that, yeah, because we're gonna have a tight schedule once we hit into October.
Right.
So Lisa's agreed to do the trunk or treat, to be in charge of that, to take the helm for the trunk or treat.
And that's a Sunday, the 25th?
When is
So we-
Halloween?
Well, it's the 31st. The
31st,
Saturday.
so.
25th would be
so-
the Sunday before that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so let's, the 21st, I mean, the 25th,
Yeah.
trunk or treat, okay.
Did we do it last year on a Friday night, or when did we do it? Was it
Saturday, but
evening?
again, you know, see, here's the problem, even though that's an outside thing, we have to allow the bathrooms. So if we have the hall rented, so again, I'm
Oh,
keeping
right.
with the theme that I'm trying to keep everything as much as possible on Sundays. So. Okay, so what time do we want to do that? That has to be decently early. Didn't we do that?
I think
like
we
5 to
started at 10,
7.
didn't we? Did we?
It was like 5 to
5 to
7
7,
or 4
I
to 6,
think.
something like that.
Yeah, so,
Five
That
to
late we
7.
did it?
It was on a Saturday, yeah.
5 to Seven.
Yeah, I think
5 to
it
7
was.
is good. Do you think that's
I
good?
think on a Sunday night, because I'm thinking
5
we have
to
to bring
7,
the children
5 to
for
7.
homework and
In the
stuff like
evening?
that.
Yeah.
5 to 7.
The day before
Do you,
school?
what do you think,
Yeah.
Rick?
Well,
You
you'll be
think
done at
that's-
7 o'clock.
Yeah. I
It's
think
trunk or
that's
treat.
fine. I think-
It's
Yeah, I'm
never-
pretty rigid about
5.
homework, but I
Yeah,
think
oh,
it should
yeah,
be all
yeah.
right. I think
Right.
it should be okay.
Didn't we do it earlier last
Oh,
year?
I always make my
thought it
kids
was
do
like
it right on
11
Friday.
a.m. or
You
something.
said-
We did
Yeah,
it on
too.
Saturday.
But wasn't it during the morning?
That was Christmas.
No, that was Christmas.
5
No.
to 7 would be good, I think.
5 to 7.
I think the families would do it.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Well, why are we doing evening as opposed to earlier in the afternoon? Don't you think a lot of parents are tired by Sunday evening in preparation for the week?
Well, it's still quite warm in October, believe it or not. So.
And it's like Halloween.
we could
you know,
make
it's
it
like-
4 to 6. What about 4 to 6? 4 to
Yeah.
6 would
Yeah, 4
be a
to
good
6.
compromise.
Yeah, I
Is that
think most
everybody
people
okay
like
with
to be
that?
home by 7, at the
Okay.
latest, the night before school.
Okay, 4 to 6.
Mhm.
All right. So, okay, so now we get into November. Okay, so in November we want to do the Festival by the Sea. I need some dates for that.
Well, when is Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving.
Is that the
It's the
26th?
27th.
27th.
Or 26th, excuse me.
26th.
26.
Yeah.
So we want the fall festival before that, right? Because
Yeah.
How about November the 8th?
yeah.
It's
Is that too close to
That's
your
Veterans
October?
Day weekend, but
The 11th is a Tuesday, right?
Yes.
So it wouldn't be.
No, 11th is a
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Okay. All right,
I
so
think that
let's
might
go
be
for
nice.
this. Yeah, okay. November 8th, Festival by the Sea.
You don't think that's
Oh, we
too
wanna
close
do
to
that on a
trunk or
Sunday?
treat?
Yeah. I
I
think
thought we did it on a Saturday.
we
last
did it on
year.
Saturday, but I thought we were going to
We're
try to
doing
do our
everything
events on
Sunday this
Sundays.
year.
We're going to try to do
Okay.
We'll
as
do it
many as we
November
can.
15 maybe to give
Okay.
you a little more time from, kind of spread out from October 25th.
Well, but you got a boat parade coming up and a Christmas tree lighting thing.
Oh, so boat parade's gonna be in November, not in December?
Okay, so here's the deal. We have to, well, the boat parade, you could have it in December, but if we're going to borrow the captain from Indian Rocks
No, right.
that navigates their water,
Right.
I have to make sure it's, so,
Yeah,
I'll
it'll
tell
have to
you
be
what.
November, I'm sure.
Am I allowed to send some dates out from this guy to Patty, and then Patty can send them to them, and they can vote back on that? Am I allowed to do that?
Yeah.
So can we leave December's open, and I'm gonna nail down this captain for a
Mhm.
date?
Yeah, I think you.
Okay, he's gonna navigate, the water for us, okay? Are you guys okay with that? So we'll
Yeah.
leave
Yeah.
December open. Okay, Christmas tree lighting ceremony, that almost kinda throws it back.
Excuse me, did we settle on the date for the Festival by the Sea?
the 8th of
8 or the
November.
15.
8th?
Does
Eighth.
everybody, how does
November 8th?
everyone feel about a Sunday as opposed to a Saturday? Like Saturday was, I know last year we had it on a Saturday. Think it's gonna be as, like,
Does it
Well-
make a difference?
I don't know if people,
Well, here-
more
here-
people gotta come. That's our big event, right, of
It
the year.
is our big event. The only thing of it is we start, all the other cities do theirs on a Saturday. And I was
Yeah.
just thinking, it might be good for us to
Yeah.
try to do it on a Sunday.
Yeah,
A lot of people like to spend family time. The festival is a family event.
yeah.
You know, it might bring in more dollars, doing it on a Sunday. What do you all think? I'm open to suggestions.
I'm not a big fan of Sunday events, just because of my lifestyle and my family style when my kids were small and stuff. I mean, you go to church, you come home, you have lunch, you take care of all your business to get ready, finishing up your homework. I'm checking homework, make sure everything's done, ready to go, early to
That's how I
bed.
feel.
See,
You know,
I
mean,
on the other hand, on
I
Friday-
schooled down on Sunday when I was working.
Yeah,
See,
Sunday's
I
kinda
really
late,
Sunday-
Yeah.
Is a quiet time, but that's just me. I'm just one person.
Yeah. See, I, on the other
You
hand,
know-
my kids, on Friday, as soon as we got home from school, all the homework was done right then, because I always had this thing that stuff happens, and then
Yeah.
they didn't get it done. So Friday, as soon as we got home from school, all was done. we were good, and then I didn't have to worry about the rest of the weekend. It was done and over with, so.
My thing is
Yeah.
that this is such a big event. It's gonna be hopefully busier this year. There's more to prepare for.
Okay, so
We're gonna
then
be
how
so
about the-
exhausted on Sunday night if we have it on Sunday
yeah.
and we all have to work the next
And you
day.
know,
Okay, so,
That's
all
my
right, so this
thing.
will be our one event that will be like, okay, so
If
how about the
everyone's agreement,
7th?
how do you feel?
I could go either way. It
Because on
doesn't
Sunday,
matter
if
to
I,
me.
we're gonna be working and putting our all in it,
Okay.
I think on Sunday I have to work the next day and I'll be like, oh, I'm so tired.
Okay, so
Yeah.
how about the 7th then? Festival on the 7th?
I,
I
I'd
like
vote
that
for that,
idea.
but I'm gonna go with the majority.
Okay,
November 7th? Okay.
okay. All right, so we gotta have a time.
What times did we do last year? It worked, whatever times it was.
Yeah, what did
Yeah.
we do?
3 to
And-
7.
Huh?
3 to 7.
3 to 7. 3 to 7.
Sounds good.
Does that sound like, so it'd be after lunch, but and then part of dinner.
How do you remember
It
that?
might be-
I know.
Was that a little long?
I remember too much stuff.
Was that a little long
Was it too
last
long?
year?
Was it too long?
I didn't
you
think
think?
it
No,
was
I
long.
didn't think it was
went
too
by
long.
No?
so
Okay.
fast, yeah.
No.
People just kind of trickled in, and that's
Yeah.
why if it's till 7,
A
I
lot
think
of
it's better
people
on a
left by
Saturday.
6.
But,
Yeah.
yeah.
Your vendors started packing up
Right.
around 6.
Okay.
Right. So let's go 3 to 7 and we'll be good. And
Sunset.
And when we're talking about all this, we'll try to
Starting
stay with the
pretty-
same plan of safety, things
think
not
6
unless
is probably
change,
better time.
things change.
Yes.
Because it'll be
Do you want
Yeah.
to do 2 to 6? Do you think 2 to 6 would be better?
I
It's
think
gonna be
so.
cooler. It's gonna
It's
be cooler
November, it's
too.
gonna be,
And the
sun's
sun's
gonna
gonna
be
Oh,
low.
set.
that's right, yeah.
It's still hurricane season, it'll be hot as
Yeah.
hell.
Well, November.
not like this.
It
One-
doesn't cool
one-
down until
one-
December.
Yeah, we'll be in daylight savings time will be gone, so it'll be 6.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
want to do 7.
Okay.
I think 2
Okay.
to 6 would be better. Would
Two,
yeah?
2 to 6 p.m. Okay. 2 to 6. All right. So, the boat parade is going to be in December. Here's the other thing we talked about was a Christmas celebration with the city. Okay, this would be just a community
Is that
thing.
the tree lighting thing?
The
where
tree
everyone
lighting.
brings like an ornament with your name on it?
Yeah, so if everybody wanted to bring an ornament and put your name on it or
Family name.
in memorial of something, you bring it, you put it on the tree. and-
Outside tree or inside?
the outside tree, but you would have to come back and retrieve it if you think
Mm-hmm.
it's something
It ain't gonna be
special.
there.
I know. I
Is it
know.
only at reachable distance or
No,
something?
no,
to
everything
climb?
has to be whatever you can, no one's getting on any ladders, we're not gonna. You don't wanna do an ornament, you don't think so?
It won't be there, I'm just telling you.
Okay, okay,
It-
so then we
it'll
might
be
have
there for a
problems.
little while, but
Right.
it-
Right, but I do wanna do, at
you want
Wayne
to do an
Ayers,
ornament inside, that's a different story, but putting it on that tree, you're probably,
so why don't we do an ornament, we could let everybody do an ornament from, if they wanted to, do an ornament, cause it's gonna be right after we set up the tree, you could do an ornament on the inside tree if they wanted to, if you're all wanting to do that.
Yeah, who was it that said that last time? They said that they went to Christmas tree line. They brought. Oh, I think it was the other. I can't remember her name. The other alternate member, the new member of the board.
Oh,
Right.
She said that she had. Yeah, she had
Lucio?
gone to
Jane
one, and
Lucio.
everyone had brought an ornament with their family name on it from some other town. I thought that was a great idea.
Yeah.
I just would be concerned if you put an ornament on your tree and out there, because of the public access to it. You know, the thing they do like it, they have a similar tree to us, but they have these big balls on it in Indian rocks, but it's, you know, there's someone around there all the time.
Yeah, we don't have that.
And, you know,
Well, we're not gonna put anything up valuable, it's just, they take it, you get something from the Dollar Tree,
Or
you
it
scribble your
blows.
name.
Right,
they
right.
blow loose.
Yeah.
We're here, well, tonight, I don't care what you put on there, that ornament probably wouldn't be there
Yeah.
in
Right,
a couple
yeah.
hours.
Yeah, that's true.
But you could leave that, what I'm saying to you is you could take the tree in here and we won't put any ornaments on it. And it would be there for the month of December,
Yeah,
That would be great.
you know? So,
that'd be nice, the
Yeah.
community will
Okay.
come inside and get to see their facilities.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Well, and so when we're talking about that then, but we still would do the tree lighting for out front,
Right.
okay? And Wayne Ayers, this was Wayne Ayers' suggestion was that I think Beller does it, or Beller Bluffs, one of them, that he said that they have like a ballot and people vote for somebody who's done the most for the community, their community, for the year. And then whoever got the most would be the one who would actually light the tree that year.
Uh-huh.
And that's all it is. You know, that person would light the tree, and basically a way of thanking them for all they've done in the community. So
Yeah, that's a good
That
idea.
is a good idea.
I like that.
Yeah.
You guys good with that?
You know, I
Okay.
also like the idea of ornaments inside because
Mm-hmm.
it gives a feeling like this is home.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
You know, because
Right.
this is just
Yeah.
a strange place for most of the residents.
right.
But they come in here and they go, "Oh, this is part of my home."
Right.
Yep.
You know, here's our
Right.
family stuff, and
Right.
it excites people to want to come and
So,
participate.
so I thought, and then we come into City Hall, okay, and we have Christmas music going. If anyone want to
Yeah.
do some Christmas
Yeah.
caroling, some hot chocolate,
Yeah, I was just gonna get a
Yeah.
you know, that
case
kinds
of
of
Swiss
thing.
Miss or something like
Yeah,
that, and
some
just make
very
it easy.
generic
Yeah.
cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, not
Store-bought.
with sprinkles and all that stuff. Yeah, just plain generic cookies. So this would, and we
Yeah.
would have Santa here. So we're
Yeah.
going to switch it up this year. So Santa would be here for that event
Okay.
Yeah.
instead. So
This is in the evening because it's a tree lighting.
right,
Okay.
exactly. So then this is in the evening, and
Okay.
Yeah. And
What
then,
night are you
and-
thinking? Like first
Okay,
of
so
December?
here's the only.
Probably
Yeah,
the
but I'm
first
looking.
weekend.
We're again. Is this going to be a Saturday or Sunday? I want to firm up from you all.
And this is also the boat parade night or separate night?
Separate night.
Oh, separate
Yeah,
night. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, I know. So I'm thinking this would have to be a Saturday night because you've got little kids and you still have school time,
yeah.
okay? So, again, my only thinking is, so we're gonna need some alternate dates here because I have to find out what the boat
Right.
captain. Okay, so this is kind of,
So
It depends on
this is a
both, too.
tree lighting / tree decoration event, right?
right,
And
right.
seeing Santa.
And
Right.
seeing Santa.
Yeah,
So
Bella be, and we'll say with
a
Santa.
Christmas event.
Holiday.
Santa present and family photos are available kind of thing, we'll promote it that
Okay.
way,
Okay.
okay? And.
Holiday.
Better Beach holiday events, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, holiday party.
Yeah.
Community
Right.
holiday party.
Holiday
We want
party,
to
yeah.
throw that community
And
in
tree
there.
lighting.
And tree lighting ceremony.
Holiday
Okay.
party and tree lighting, okay.
And tree lighting ceremony.
Party and tree lighting.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so I'm thinking the first week and
First Saturday.
well, see, here's the only thing. I think Lynn likes to get the tree done and lit.
Yeah,
Oh,
we put
even
that
earlier,
out.
right after Thanksgiving?
Yeah,
Before Thanksgiving?
before
Yeah.
Thanksgiving. So
But
Well, right after
we
Thanksgiving.
did, let's see, I'm trying to remember, I don't think we lit it.
So maybe the 28th?
Yeah, the 28th right after Thanksgiving. Would that
Yeah,
be
'cause
okay?
other places I've been, we've had the tree lighting thing and stuff, but
I was
Well, we've
thinking the
done it on-
21st.
a city council meeting night and did it earlier.
Before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, but, well, no, like the first meeting in December of the city council. We did it on a weeknight, and we did the cookies and, you know, things like that. But if you want to do music and things like that, then you couldn't do that on a council night.
Right.
So you'd have to do it maybe the 20, let's see,
21st would be good.
the 28th or
Well,
something.
keep in mind, you're doing a fall festival, just November
Yeah,
7th.
that's like the week before.
Okay, so why don't we do the 28th work for you, Lynn?
I don't know what day that is.
That is a Saturday?
It's the Saturday after Thanksgiving.
After Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
The 28th, you're saying?
yeah. Does that work or no?
Is
Boy,
that
a lot-
Thanksgiving weekend?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think we
Yeah,
should
see,
do
it doesn't work. That's why I was saying.
So everybody.
It
We
really-
wouldn't even put the tree up before that, so, last year, this is the first time we had that tree. We opted to, instead of contracting with these decorations that we previously had done, our contract was up, so we didn't renew it.
Right.
We bought our own tree.
Okay.
And
Yeah, I didn't think I'd seen that before. I thought maybe I was just
Yeah.
ignorant, never
So
paid
what
attention.
about
about December
December
6th?
5th?
Or we could
Or
do it on a
6th.
Friday
You could do a
evening.
Sunday
Would
evening.
a Friday evening?
You could do a Sunday evening for, it's just a simple thing. You're having some,
Yeah.
You could do that on a Sunday evening, because then.
Yeah.
5th or 6th, yeah.
So let's shoot for,
Okay,
that would be a
okay.
nice family event on a 6th, so let's do the 6th.
Assuming that the boat parade's not there.
Assuming, well, the
What day
boat
of the
parade
week
would
is that?
probably, I think the boat parade's on a Saturday, gonna be a
Oh, that would be a
Saturday.
Saturday, okay.
Or
so
a Friday
December.
night, so yeah.
What day of the
gotcha,
week is
okay.
that?
That's a Sunday, December 6th.
We should do it on December 7th.
That's a Monday.
Do the boat parade on December 7th.
On December 7th.
Oh, yeah, right.
More Arbor Day.
You know, 100 Pearl Harbor Day.
Right.
Well, that's the
Okay,
concept.
so
works out a little
let's
bit
pick
better.
let's pick a time, this is a Sunday. So if we have to have, we could end with the tree lighting for outside right after it gets dark. So we could
Yes.
actually have our party first and then go out and do the little ceremony with the tree lighting and end it at that.
We have to find out what time it gets dark at
So-
that time of year on a
December
December the 6th.
6 o'clock is probably dark, but I mean, we're,
5:36.
5.
5:36. So if we ended
Yeah,
at
I
that
mean,
at
that's the
6,
shortest
we'll be
time.
good. So let's do 6. Okay, so it ends at 6. We want to start it at, say,
4 to 6 or 5 to
4 to 6.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
would be
4 to
good.
6.
4 to 6?
4:30, 4 to 6, you think? Okay.
Yeah,
4 to 6. Well, because you're doing Santa too.
Mhm, yep.
So you got to, it
Okay.
takes time. You saw how long it takes to get through Santa, and if you have little
Yeah.
kids crying.
Are you
and-
thinking about doing crafts too, like
No.
last year? Okay.
No. No, I was thinking we just do the caroling,
Mhm.
cookies, hot chocolate, and we want to. I want
or
to.
you have crafts where the kids make the ornaments.
They could make the ornaments. Now, here's the thing: we could do the ornaments. They have the ones where the string. We could have those pre-glued. Okay, and then they have the puff art where you just peel it and they the kits and they just push it together.
You have leftovers too from last year, right?
Yeah.
We have ornaments. See, that's the other thing too. We could just recycle what we have as well,
I think that's a good idea.
and you know, instead of keep buying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot left over,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, we.
Is that something that can be personalized, so every family can just make?
They could put their
Add
name
to
on
the-
it and just get a
yeah.
Sharpie, because we
It
had
does?
those,
Okay.
those,
That's
Right, and then come pick it up
plastic
Yeah,
after
because
after the holidays.
Rather than putting a burden on the families to go find an ornament, they come here and find the ornament, make it. And put it
Yeah,
out
let's
there.
put their
Makes
name
the
on
place
it.
feel more.
Right. Okay. All right. Okay, so the fashion show with the T.
No,
That-
that's in January.
Yeah, and I don't have 2021's calendar, so does yours go there? Okay. So the new member said that she thought it would be nice to have a fashion show with the T in January. So I'm thinking if we could try to do it the latter part of January, that gets us, because we have a very, very busy schedule in November, December. I actually thought February would be a better month, I think, to have a fashion show. For the simple fact is,
Well-
because then you're into
February
Valentine's, you're
14th.
in, yeah, then you're into Valentine's, you're into that kind of a theme.
The
You know.
first, I think the first weekend of February would be good.
First
Maybe.
weekend of
That's
February.
the 6th and 7th.
Okay, we could do a Sunday tea. So is that 7th?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And we don't have to worry about rain out days. Um, you know, of course, we'll charge a little fee to come, you know, just to cover at least the expenses and so forth. You know, we'll talk about that later. We can work out the details of it later, but yeah, February 7th, I think would be good. Yeah, we can reach out to some of these store owners. The one person who CC and Company, or Cassie and Company, I'm sorry, Cassie and Company might do it. They've done several in the area of fashion shows, so they might be interested in doing it for us. So, okay. So I think that covers our schedule, other than the boat parade, okay? And I will have the date on that, and I will get with you on it. Is there anything else on the events that we, oh yes, I've been approached about doing something for Memorial.
Memorial weekend.
Yeah, just for the service, the men that have been in the service or in the service in our city. I've been
Oh.
approached actually several times. So, Council Member Bim and what's the commander's name?
Glenn Gunn?
Oh.
No, the one on
No, the
22nd. I
one
can't think of it.
Pittsburgh?
The one on the charter?
Yeah.
Oh, no, you're talking about the Master Chief.
Master Chief, yes. Okay, so I've actually delegated because they were the ones that brought it up.
Yeah.
So, if you guys are good with that, we'll have them there. I told them to put together a proposal of what they had in mind, and I have them bring it in front of us, and we'll talk about it, and then we'll take it in front of the council. They're just talking about a kind of a ceremony, maybe kind of a wreath kind of
For the
thing.
veterans and the.
Yeah, that kind of a
Memorial
thing.
Day isn't for veterans, it's for the people that lost their lives.
That's right.
That's the misnomer.
Yep.
Yeah,
And,
Veterans Day is
Veterans
Veterans
Day,
Day.
you're right.
Memorial
I know.
Day is
Right.
really for the dead.
you're right.
Yeah, I know.
yeah, it's not
Yeah.
for veterans, it's for,
Right.
it's giving,
Right.
Right,
So
so,
it should
so
be
if we
better.
just do a wreath and somebody come in and play the bugle,
Okay.
We're talking about Veterans Day or?
Well,
memorial.
that's what, yeah, Memorial.
why he said Memorial Day.
I-
Yeah, I think you're right, Lynn. Well, I know you're right.
He said memorial to me 3 times, the Master Chief has,
Oh,
so.
so he could do the ceremony, I mean, he could,
Well, he belongs to an organization that has done them,
yeah.
so,
Well, there's one actually that even the city's invited to at, on Memorial Day, at,
Rainton Shore, or Rainton,
no.
Indian Shores.
Well, they have it, but
We went to theirs.
there's one at the, what is that? The cemetery off of,
Anonis thing, over by
Off of
Anonis.
Indian Rocks?
yeah.
Okay,
They,
Mhm.
Moss Feaster or.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's right.
They have a big ceremony and
Oh.
they invite, like, invited the city of Bel Air Beach
Mhm.
at times. We've taken a wreath there, done it, because it's a big,
That would be nice.
And that's on
Yeah.
Memorial Day.
on Memorial Day, yes.
Yeah,
Different,
Right.
yeah.
so
that
we
would-
wouldn't necessarily have to house it here.
Yeah.
We can promote it, put together our end of it, and then have it
And take it
everybody,
to the,
and take it there.
yeah, the
And I would
cemetery
strongly
would be more
recommend
appropriate.
that. There are too many of these celebrations and they're
they're
too,
all over.
they're too
Oh, I know. I
poorly
used to do- I
attended
used
because
to do
there's
the
too
one-
many of them.
I used to do the ones at Bay Pines
Yeah.
with our scout troops, so we used to put all the flags
Yeah.
and the, yeah.
Yeah, I'll
I think-
talk to Mark, because I think maybe he's thinking Veterans Day as opposed to
Yeah,
Okay,
Mhm.
Memorial Day.
Okay.
Memorial Day to me is for the people that died.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's usually at a cemetery.
I know, that's what I'm saying, we
Yeah,
always
you're
put the
absolutely right.
flags, we always put the flags on the,
Different
graves,
times of the year too.
so,
Yeah, but it's, it's,
mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, so, this is where we're at with the calendar. I will get back to you on that. Okay, so let's just recap real quick. So, we need to, when we come together to do this community event, have in mind what you would like to do for little events, okay, for this thing here at the park, the family thing where we do the cookout. If you have a resource to put it together, you're willing to take it on, I'm hoping that everybody will take a piece of
you're
that.
talking about the May 17th. event.
Then, yeah, okay. So I want everybody to take a piece of that, including you, George, so if you can maybe, you will oversee the cornhole games, okay? Or, I can give you who's got them, and you just make sure they're
We need to figure out
there.
a list of games that,
Right, and we
For
have to
entertainment
create a game, set of games, that's why I said everybody
The
gets
sack
some
race,
games,
yeah,
some sack
the sack.
races, the rope thing
Yeah.
where you, the three-legged race,
Mhm. Tug of war.
tug of war, okay? All those kinds of events, okay? And then, we'll supply the hot dogs and the buns and the chips, and maybe I can get somebody to donate the drinks or something, and we'll bring us, maybe have good old-fashioned apple pie there or something.
Yeah.
You never know, but so just be thinking about those kinds of things when we're talking about putting those things together. Main things, we got these calendar down so I can get that to the council. They were very adamant about wanting some of
Dates,
pretty firm dates. Okay, so all other business. I have a couple quick things, a little bit of housekeeping here, okay? When we set up these board meetings, okay, this is just kind of my pet peeve. I'm a former county employee, you were, okay? I don't like to cut into their family time. So as much as we can, I want to stay away from Fridays because a lot of families take their long weekends. Okay, so I really want to try to stay away from Friday meetings, okay, if we can avoid it. I want to try to have as early in the day we can to have our meetings. I want to try to do that, okay?
How about limiting the length of the meeting?
Well, that's
Because
the,
I've gotta go home and cook now, and
Yeah, I do too.
it's kinda late.
I do too, I do too. So if we're going to limit the meetings, then know that we might have to have special meetings. So then you might have to have a second meeting.
That's fine, but I still think.
Do we know
should
when our next meeting is?
Go for a limit.
And that would be the other thing we're gonna talk about is the, okay, so is the next meeting gonna be a regular meeting or is it gonna be a special meeting? Are we good for the car show? Do you think we need to meet prior to the car show and firm up any last minute things or?
You have the registrations made up and,
He's gonna,
That'll be taken care of.
he'll be taken care of. That's what we're gonna be sending out. I
where's it
think,
going out to? Just our neighborhood?
well, we're gonna do a mass email to the
Yeah.
city, to the city
That
emails.
list is that many people.
It's not that many people, but I'm gonna be sending it to the car clubs. She
Okay.
can,
Oh,
she
the
can
car
turn it
clubs,
over
yeah.
to the car clubs. I'll have Patty send it to every board member, okay?
Okay.
You know, we could have a quick meeting, if you guys are good with it, and say, like, a week.
And can we all be
Oh,
emailed
wait,
a
so-
finished a registration form? Because I've got a couple of friends who'd want to, in Indian Rocks Beach, who'd want to bring their cars here.
Yeah,
I have a friend too that,
Yeah.
right.
So
So,
if I could download and
yeah,
print
the
these.
other thing, well, yeah, that's, so the city manager will have it done.
Okay.
He'll send it to us and then we can,
Okay.
and then you will forward it to them in emails.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to let you all know is we have to let our residents first.
how's that, now how do you do that?
Okay, so basically what I'm gonna ask the city to do is say, we'll have our board chairman get with you on it, okay?
How many people do you think
And I'm
from our
gonna have
city
to
would
try to keep a
participate?
tap on it, okay, but when you talk to your friends and your neighbors, I think we're good, I think we're gonna be fine. When I said 30 spots, I think we can go as much as 35. So that gives us a 5-person padding.
Do you think out of approximately 1,500 homes we have, 35 entrants from our city?
No,
So
no,
we
but you know,
outsiders.
we all
I
know
think we
that
would
some
if
of
we
our
could
neighbors can be,
communicate.
yeah, we might,
I-
we do
I-
have, no, some of our neighbors can be a little bit lax on getting things back and so forth, so, this is Bellar Beach. You know, it's laid back. So, that's why that padding, I kind of padded that. I didn't really want to say that on record, but I have to. You know, I have that little bit of a padding of 5 spots if we have to, in case some residents come in at the last minute. So, yeah. So if you're passing out your flyers, please don't mention that there's a padding, because we want
That they're
everybody to
what?
get their stuff in. We want them to get their registrations and so forth. Okay.
So the finished
And all
product will be
checks need
emailed
to
to
be
us?
made, does it say on that flyer, all checks need to be made out to the city of Bellar Beach?
How much is the register? $25.
Yeah.
It does say on there? Thank you.
No,
Okay.
do we go 20 or 25 now? 20.
20. Okay. And the
And your
city's
form and
emails on
fee.
there too?
It says pre-registration, mail your form and
Address?
fee.
Info at City of Bellevue, and the address is on there.
Great, perfect, thank you.
We're actually gonna take off the free, we'll just say registration.
Okay. All right. So why don't we, everybody look at your calendar, see if we can meet for maybe, and let's put a time limit on it, because we're only gonna firm up car show stuff. This meeting will not be for any other
Right,
business,
just for the
okay?
car show, yeah.
Just for the car show, so
Yeah.
let's look at our calendars for next week, okay? This is going to be a special meeting,
Next week?
next week,
Do we
a
really-
special meeting.
Why would we need to meet next week? I would think we'd want to meet closer to the show, either the
Okay, so you wanted
second
to,
week of March or the third week of March, like maybe the Monday or Tuesday
Right.
before the car show.
okay.
Right.
So you wanna do,
Well, what-
say this,
I like Mondays.
Well, their council meeting is the 16th.
Well, that's when the
Do you have a-
registration
Don't
is
you have
due.
a car, you have a rental
So
still
that
on the
might not be a-
16th, right? He actually has a hall rental on the 16th, so they had to move a work session for that. So,
But
But
that
that's-
shouldn't affect this.
that wouldn't affect this, because this is just us.
Yeah.
And, yeah, but wait a minute, is that a wedding?
You guys are gonna have to
It's
carry
a
on with that.
reception, if I remember.
So
You're
they
not
won't
here
need this
tomorrow.
room?
Oh, you're leaving
I
now?
don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, that may not, the 16th, that's your day closing for registration.
Yep.
Yeah.
Uh,
So how about the,
17th?
Can we meet the week before? I can't my kids are out of school the following week.
So
Oh,
how
isn't
about
that
the
spring
10th?
break? Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
spring break, March 16th, that whole week.
Oh,
Yeah, so
right.
let's look, let's look at the 10th, the 10th.
Okay.
Does the 10th look good? It's a
Yeah.
Tuesday?
Yeah.
I have
I
a
can't do
residential
Tuesdays.
financial advisory committee at 4.
I can do the Monday or Wednesday. Or Thursday of that week.
How about Wednesday, what do you
Yeah.
think?
I'm iffy that whole week.
You're iffy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
I've got a
going
lot
all
of
that
family
week
coming
too.
into town to see my mom.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I mean, that's why we have
No, I'm not available.
5
that
people on
week
the board.
or that week.
6 people.
Okay, so let's just do it the first week. We have,
Yeah.
it sounds like the majority can do the first week of March.
Yeah,
Is that
Okay.
correct?
at least I can.
Yep. I
First-
can too. Except for Tuesday. I can do any day.
Okay, it seems to me we have something on the 3rd.
Council meeting.
On the 3rd?
Mm.
I thought the council would be on the 2nd.
Oh, the
That's-
second, yeah, that's right.
Seems to me there's something on the 3rd.
Hey, you don't want to do Friday, right?
Okay, so let's throw out 2 dates. And
Or
How
the
then-
about, how about
5th,
March 6th,
Wednesday.
Friday?
We don't want to do Fridays anymore. You just
Well,
said
it's
that,
gonna be
Well,
right?
how
short
early
this
can you be
time.
here?
Friday I could be here early. I could be here at noon.
What time for you?
I can't. I'm working till
I
I
could
work.
be here at 3. I mean, I could be here. I'm
You
flexible.
don't have to
like
count
that.
on me. It's all right. You guys meet without me. It's all good.
No, when are you free for
I get out of work at 3:30, so I can be here. Well, considering the traffic was so
Right,
bad, and
right,
it is
right,
March,
right.
I might not get here till
You
4:30.
might not get here, period.
Why
You
was
know,
it
it
so
It takes
heavy
me an
today?
hour. I don't know.
Was there an accident? What was
Okay.
it?
There's a fire up here.
The
Oh,
fire.
and the pole fell over
Ah,
the other bridge going eastbound.
Oh.
So that's why all that traffic was coming this way.
Oh.
Oh. So it
Okay.
wasn't a structure fire? Because the fire department showed it as a structure fire at 3210.
I don't
Golf.
know about that, but, because I haven't seen my alerts, but the bridge, the Clearwater Bridge eastbound, a light pole was tipped over. So
Okay.
the traffic, that lane was closed, so to get off the beach, they had to come this way.
Okay.
That's why it was so backed up.
You said you have a meeting. When did you say your next meeting is?
Tuesday the 10th,
Tuesday the 10th
of March.
of March. And what time is yours?
4 o'clock.
What's your schedule on Tuesdays?
I'm not available March 9 through 20.
Oh, okay.
So it's just that first week I'm available.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, all right.
And I can meet any day but Tuesdays.
Okay, so let's just try to put this on the 4th at say 4:30? 4th at 4:30? Okay?
Mhm.
Let's keep it brief.
Yeah.
We're just, these are tying up all loose ends, and then I'm
Yeah.
gonna ask the board at that time to give me the permission to go with the rest of it.
That's good
Whatever else
because
comes in
that
after
gives us
that.
time to correct any errors.
Because we can't communicate, so anything that comes in after that, if you're okay with me handling it, we're good?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
So March 4, Wednesday.
4:30.
4:30, yeah.
And I can tell you what I find
And
out.
that's a special meeting.
I can tell you what I find out about the different car places, what they decide about judging, that sort of thing, right? Goodie bags.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay? All right? So that's a special meeting though. So it's a different kind of definition, so that way, when
Do
it's a
we have a
special
regular
meeting,
meeting
it
yet?
doesn't count if somebody has to miss it. Let's just put it that way, okay?
Thanks, Jim.
Yep.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We adjourn.